live. Okay. Is this the right one? I think it is. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Slice of Shonen Podcast. I am your host on the boat, Sailor. And this week, oh my God, what the fuck? Jesus, the music just got so loud all of a sudden. Sorry for flashbanging y'all. But I went to turn it down some more, and they're like, "Oh, do you want it at 100?" I was like, "No, I don't want that actually." But anyway, yeah, sorry about that. We're back. We got a shorter podcast this week, but that's okay. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about, specifically with the big chapter of JJK this week. So we'll get into that. But of course, it is not just me here. I have my Ensemble of Excellence. Let me go down the roster. We have the Silver. We have the me. Hey, how's it going? And of course, the Zenith Anime Manga, whose channel and Patreon are linked down below. Make sure you guys go check that out. And fellas, it's finally here. Chat, it's finally here. I have gone through a lot. It's just so much sadness and sorrow. Fuck. So much stuff that I've had to go through, but it's actually here. I cannot believe it. The AOT video goes live tomorrow. It's actually time, man. I was trying to get this video out for the longest, but then YouTube fucking played in my face. I don't know why. Okay, so first off, I'll link it in chat because I have it set for a premiere for tomorrow. So if you haven't put your notifications on for that sign, you better go do that. But I don't know what it was. I can go more in depth about it now, but for some reason, the second chapter of Attack on Titan, like the ending, they just did not fuck with that. I don't know why. It was no other content. Like everything else, they were just like, yeah, man, perfect, no issues. But like anything with Attack on Titan, like the one that had like the actual ending for the manga, bro, like I don't know what it was, but YouTube was just like, yeah, go fuck yourself, actually. And it was under the same thing. Like, I would use like maybe like 10 to 15 second clips of one thing, and they'd be like, nah, this is a spoiler for the entire hour plus long episode. What? Like, what? Like, what are you talking about here, man? Like, I don't know what's going on. I think the part that like annoyed me the most is like after I edited away like so much shit, I was like, surely they won't complain about this. I sent the same video through YouTube's usual checks, and they were just like, yeah, man, all good, no problem. I was like, oh, thank God, now I can finally do it. I put all the parts together, uploaded all together to make it like an actual video. And they're like, nah, man, there's like an 8-second clip where you showed the second chapter of the final AOT thing. So sorry, go fuck yourself. I was like, there's no goddamn way. there's no goddamn way at this point. Whenever y'all watch that video, whether it be tomorrow, the day after, whenever, just know that whenever you see like, oh, why is this section like black and white and like mirrored? That's the reason why. I had to do that for like pretty much every time that specific anime episode was even shown on screen. Again, everything else, no problem. Like I edited that episode of AOT the exact same way I edited everything else. For some reason, it was just that one fucking episode, man. That one fucking episode. And then I waited. I was like, hey, I want to fight against this copyright claim. I'm hoping they respond quickly. I'm literally like 50 times bigger than the last time that I put in a fucking claim. 50 is an exaggeration. I'm probably like 15 to 20. But anyway, right? Like still, I'm significantly bigger than the last time I put in like a counter dispute. And they responded to me in 2 weeks. So I was like, surely they'll respond to me quicker. No, it took them almost a month. And then after that, they were like, nah, fuck out of here. So I was like, all right, well, I had to go through so much stuff, so much, but it's finally happening, man. It's finally fucking happening. I am so proud. I'm really excited. I hope you guys enjoy the video whenever you do get around to watching it, man. If you have been waiting for like this whole time for me to upload a video, thank you. Basically, that's all I can really say. Thank you. I had one person, Siva, he was just like, honestly, I thought like the video was just never coming. You were just burnt out and like that was an excuse. I was like, fuck. No, man. I was working that whole time, man. I was in the gym working on my fitness, brother. Damn. It just took so much time getting everything all set up and everything all in order. And then I got to the finish line and then I realized that wasn't the finish line. And so I had to run and do something else. You ending the stream? No, not at all. We just started. I'm just, I wanted to use this opening section here before we get started to just express, gratitude and just express my overall feelings on this entire process, the frustration, the happiness, the ups, the downs, all that good stuff, because finally it comes to a close tomorrow, man. I felt like my life has been on pause for like the past year and a half, so it feels like I can finally breathe and resume again. I'm so fucking excited. I got a Shinjuku Showdown video planned out. I'm gonna start working on that. I got some other content on the way. I'm gonna bring Sailor Notes back, man. We're finally fucking here, man. Holy fuck! Oh my god! I can make content again! Oh my god, chat! I can make content! But, of course, like I said, pinned comment is the link to the new AOT video that is dropping tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Beast Coast time. Be there, or I don't know. Watch it later. But yeah, man. Speaking of videos,
it's a long one though.
It's a long one,
set
chat.
aside to do.
It's a long one, chat. Like hey, man, watch that John over like the course of the week. I'm not gonna lie. If you don't know, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before, but if you don't know how long that video is, it is 5 hours and 11 minutes long. So
you've got like dinner and YouTube covered for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You're good. Yep.
Yeah, you are fucking set for a while with this video. Yeah.
Look, Sky just joined us.
Oh, hi, Sky.
Hello.
I didn't think you'd join us this week. Welcome, Sky.
Sorry.
Welcome.
I was buying milk, but some dude showed up with a sword. I think he called it the bane of people who buy milk.
Oh my god. Man. No way.
Oh, that guy.
No way.
That's crazy.
You met Jeff.
It's a good thing I was buying
Jeff.
Skim milk, which is legally not milk.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
It couldn't cut me.
It was like the sea bear outside of the sea bear circle. He just pointed at you, snarled, and backed away. Yeah, man. But yeah, I can finally make content again, chat. I do plan. Here's the thing, because I see the questions. Am I gonna make Sailor Notes on Kagurabachi? Yes. Am I gonna do like videos on Kagurabachi? I don't know. Not because I don't want to.
Yeah.
But because fucking Shueisha has been walking around with the Shinichi and has been clapping niggas, bro. Like, Shueisha has been going around with that Shinichi and has been smacking niggas, chat. So, like, Sailor Notes? Yes. Actual, like, videos? I don't know. Would I like to? Absolutely. We're going to keep that in the tuck for right now. I will tell you right now, I will try. I love Kagurabachi. I will always try, but yeah, man, we gonna see. Basically, if YouTube lets me, then we there, chat. But if not, then we're cooked. Wallahi. But yeah, man.
Blade of copyright calamity.
That's what I'm saying, bro. The copyright calamity 9000, man, is fucking ridiculous. But yeah, as I mentioned, I said it like 5 times this stream, but pinned comment is the link to the new video going up tomorrow. But speaking of videos, make sure you guys like the stream, man, whether you're watching live or after the fact. Make sure you like the stream, man. Make sure you like the stream. But anyway, that's been enough of a preamble. Let's get into the actual meat and potatoes this week. We're going to start off with our first chapter of the 2 to talk about this week. We're going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 268. Fellas, how did you feel about this one?
It's
All right.
If I can, I like it.
So like,
I don't think
we got a lot of feelings.
Oh, God.
Wait, actually, guys, before we go in, I'd like to take a moment and to say something myself about this chapter. Now, I know we've had issue. It was with this final arc along with Sukuna and Uruha and all that. But despite all of that, with this chapter for them, I'd like to take a moment of silence to acknowledge them, for they died as they lived. A hater and a glazer. Lots of them.
What, dude?
I will say, you know, been waiting for this chapter to come out. It's one of the last ones. It's the climax of the fight. And then I read it. And then I went on with my day. That's, you know, what more can I say? Actually, a lot. I have a lot of opinions, but guys, it's
a strong 8 out of 10 from Zenith Any Manga Chat.
It's it is quite a chapter. I'm sure we all have a lot of opinions here.
It is a chapter, chat. It is a chapter. Yeah. Man. Man, dude. Good.
We're going to get into a lot of things. And I want to say that there's been a lot of arguments, you know, about this chapter, whether it is fiction or total garbage. I've seen both sides of this. I feel like at least many of us here in the chat, I'm sure there's still variety of opinion within the podcast itself, but we all are somewhere in the middle, I feel.
I think I'm there too. Yeah.
I like some things about it.
Yeah, man. Do we want to like talk about?
We summed up all of JJK.
Do we want to talk about the things we like first, or do we want to just talk like overall and just, you know, go from there?
I think it's better to discuss it like event by event. So like, I guess starting with.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know if we'll move off the first event for a minute. So
that's fine. We're gonna get to it eventually.
Okay.
So
we'll just do it. We'll just do it. Okay. So chapter starts. Megumi and Sukuna having their conversation, and Sukuna is just like, "Hey, man. You know, you went through a lot of shit, you know, like how do you plan on living your life? You know, you're a bitch and you're broke. Social media is calling you a bum. You gave your body to me. You killed your sister." I love as he's like going on, he's like thinking of more shit. He's just like, oh yeah, that's right. And you rejected their hand. Yeah, you did that too. So you should just like leave everything to me. And Megumi says, like, bro, why are you so desperate? Like, why are you so afraid to die? And I think that in itself has already been a pretty big topic of discussion, at least from what I've seen. Sukuna is afraid to die. How do you guys, and chat, all of these questions are questions for you guys as well. How do you guys feel about that? Sukuna being afraid to die?
I mean, like, can I judge? Same, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like people are really harsh on him for that. It's like, yeah, he's a shonen villain. He's gonna go out sad. It is so rare that, like, a shonen villain goes out with total dignity.
I think
that does not happen.
You remember when Aizen did it? He was like, "Wait, the soul king,
no.
Wait." And genuinely, it's one of his best moments as a character. So, like,
well, the end.
I got no issue with it.
About...
Yeah, I mean that's not one of my problems with this chapter. Sorry.
Yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead.
then, people, when a character dies, you get, very insightful look at them. And it's like, yeah, he doesn't want to die. But I think that, like, saying that, like, he's afraid of death is he's kind of, like, mischaracterizing a little bit, because it's not like he's begging for his life or anything.
True.
It's like, it is, I mean,
I think it's still fear.
It's definitely fear, but it's like
he's still afraid of death.
To act like he's like, oh no, please, like he's trying to hold on, because being separated from Megumi means death. But
I
it's
mean,
not like
is it
begging.
too far of a thing where he's like fucking like he's panting and sweating on the ground? Yuji stands over him. He's like, like, is that too far of a thing to say that he's afraid of death?
He's afraid, but it's not like. I think it's mischaracterizing to say that it's like pathetic.
I think it absolutely is pathetic.
So see, I feel like it would have been more pathetic if he did beg for his life, like Sky is saying, because it's like Yuji was saying, like I'm willing to take you on again and try to give you a second chance here or a life. Now, see, had Sukuna had taken that offer, that would have been pathetic.
See, we're jumping ahead to something that some of us disagree on. That's a whole part.
It's fine.
Well,
it's fine. This is a whole
okay.
part of the section.
That's right. I just Zenith said.
No, like I meant like section by section. Like this whole section is the discussion. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, as I was saying, it's like had he taken Yuji's offer, that would have been a grievous thing for his character. But no, like yeah, he could have taken the offer, but he outright refused it because first of all, again, he's a fucking hater, or he is not accepting pity from someone he hates. And it's like you said, at the end of the day, he's a curse. Or to do so would and just go against everything he represents.
I think for me, I would have preferred Sukuna to go out in a better way. Like, I would have preferred Sukuna to just die standing on his shit. And I guess you can argue, like, oh, well, he like died. Like, he kind of did. But, like, I would have preferred, like, this series gets slandered a lot online, which I don't really know why. I enjoyed it when I read it. But Akame ga Kill, right? Chat, if y'all have read it, Esdeath's death, she went out like a fucking baller, dude. She went out like a fucking G, dude. And I think that's what I would have wanted from Sukuna. Like, it's very comparable, too. Because Esdeath and Sukuna are very similar in the sense that they are like, they represent everything about the world of, I guess in Sukuna's case, in Jujutsu, and then the world of Akame ga Kill. They are like embodiments of like all of the fucked up shit that's happening there. They're the ones who like reinforce these ideas and concepts the most. And to have Esdeath, like when she dies and she just thinks like, oh, well, this is just what happens when you're strong. Like, someone will eventually take you down. And she stands up. She just got hit by, like, a one-tap sword. She stands up, and she's just like, what else is there to think about? I just die now. And then she dies. It's just like, fuck, dude. Like, I would have liked that for Sukuna. I would have liked him to just be like, well, that's it. Because that's how he was before in the past with Yorozu, where he's like, if I die, I just die. Like, that's all it means. Like, if I lose, I die. And that's it. I just lost. But, like, if you wanted to do more with the idea of Sukuna being afraid, maybe it's the idea that it's Yuji, right? Maybe it's the idea that Yuji is the one because, he doesn't really like him. They don't see eye to eye. Yuji specifically taking pity on Sukuna, and that's why Sukuna is like ashamed to be in this state, to admit that he's lost and all of this other stuff, and that he would rather die than simply admit that. It's just, I would have preferred something like that. Like, I feel like the ingredients are there to make this moment feel more for me for Sukuna. It just wasn't like acted upon in a sense,
I think this moment definitely feels like it's more in service of Yuji than it is for Sukuna. So he kind of just...
I can agree. Yeah.
He feels like
Yeah, I can see
a
that.
victim of Yuji's development, I guess, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Just in that moment. Because, I mean, he does have really good moments throughout this fight. I would say the previous moment he had with, you know, Yuji, when it's like, he's showing him the memories and he's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, that is, for his character, I think that's a much better, like...
Nigga, that's just been your
final
reaction image to this chapter. You can't fool me.
Okay, I was giving that. We're gonna forget that for now. Anyway, be a surprise tool that will help us later. Like, that is just a genuinely great moment for his character.
Yeah.
It shows, like more specifically for their dynamic, it shows what makes them work together as characters really well in a clash. Whereas, like, this does just feel more like it's the product of Yuji's development than Sukuna's character than anything else. I guess as their final moment, it just feels a little imbalanced. And that's why it doesn't really hit that much for me. I also think, like, man, there are two you are me moments in this series, and one is just so much better.
I've been saying worst Mahito.
Just so much better.
I've been saying, man.
Because it's like, it's so, with Mahito, it's such a good moment of acknowledging their respective roles in this series and their world, and accepting that and really coming to terms with what that means.
Yes.
And here, it just feels so much more shallow, because the reasoning he gives, and I'm quoting the manga here, is, we were born with the burden of a curse, and the monster you became was up to luck. Which is just like, yeah, man, we're the product of our circumstances. It's just so much more like, it's so much less interesting than the point of it in the Mahito moment.
Yeah, and like another thing, and this is a video I have planned out for another time for just Yuji, because I think Yuji's character, like, as a whole, has been great.
Oh yeah, he's been cooking.
Yes.
This whole thing.
Yes, absolutely. But Yuji throughout most of JJK up until Shibuya is very indecisive. Like, even down to his design. Like, there's a thing, like, there's an excerpt in one of the like preambles before a chapter. It's just like, hey, yeah, Yuji got like a hoodie in his thing. He doesn't really like hoodies, but like, he just got it just cause. Or because Gojo gave it to him, he just decided to keep it. Or like, whenever he goes and he takes the test on like, hey, why do you want to enter into the academy? And he's just like, I'm just doing it for my dad. And they're just like, what the fuck? You're not doing it for you? Even later on where he's like, oh no, I'm doing it for me. I'm gonna do it because I want to take out this curse. Later on in the detention center, Yuji is like, why the fuck did I listen to my grandfather, man? What was wrong with me? I don't want to help people. This sucks. Like, I'm dying here, man. And then like more stuff throughout the series, even like his interaction with Todo, where he's like, yes, my friend Todo. At the end of the arc, Todo's like, hey brother. He's like, who are you? I don't know you. He's like, damn, bro. Like, he's not standing on anything. So this moment with Mahito, especially where at the beginning of the fight, Mahito says, we're the same. And if you don't understand that, you'll never beat me. Having this moment of Yuji saying, you're right, I am you. Like, this is such an emphatic moment for Yuji, for someone who has who's like always hesitated on things, never really been assured of himself, despite being like this 1 in a million talent. This is such a like grim thing for him to just be like, I'm the same. I don't need a reason. I'm just going to do as I feel. It's essentially, even though Yuji wins, it's Mahito having Yuji completely abandon who he was, in a sense, which is essentially what Mahito's power forces you to do. If you want to damage him, you have to know the contours of the soul. Basically, you have to see the world the way Mahito does. And in this moment, that's exactly what Yuji is doing. And there's so much more to get into with that, but like, that is such a big moment for both characters. Whereas for Yuji, like you mentioned, Zenith, I think this is great for him. But like Sukuna, it's just like, damn, bro. Like, fuck, man. We could have just had more. I just wish we like delved more into it, or we had more time to like sit with this stuff, because that's another big issue with this chapter is just the pacing. We like zip, 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 zip throughout the entire thing. But yeah, I just don't feel like Sukuna is given like that same reverence here in this scene like we had with Yuji and Mahito.
Yeah. I just wish we knew more about Sukuna, I guess, because like the whole thing is like, and the monster you became was up to luck, was it?
Yeah.
That part did feel weird.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Not the sense I got from this series.
Yeah.
I think there's one moment where it's like, yeah, my dad probably hated me. Probably?
Yeah.
Bro, join the
You don't even know?
He was just, Kashimo asks him, he's just like, what were you like as a kid? He was like, I don't know. I was probably like a nasty nigga, though. Like, that's all we get. That's all we really get with Sukuna.
It's so weird, because, like, I'd understand if he was the type of villain. Not even necessarily, like, a tragic villain, because villains can be, like, go without a tragic backstory and still have this theme of like circumstance. It depends on how it's handled, of course, but it's like, if we don't know anything about what they were like or how their life was like, then like there's no point to be made about it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just weird. I don't know, this whole interaction, I can really dig it from Yuji's perspective, because it's like, this is again just Yuji's growing empathy, which has been a big part of his character in this final arc. But like, it just doesn't feel like Sukuna is the villain for that.
I agree. Yeah. He literally ate his twin in the womb. His fate was not up to luck. Yeah, that. Like, I feel like
born hater.
Yeah, like Sukuna and his
Reborn
overwhelming. Yeah, right. His overwhelming sense of self. Like, fuck, man. I feel like this
Bro
is
was
probably
lining up at GameStop the premiere night. He pre-ordered that
he
HD.
pre-ordered that shit, bro. Yes, sir.
I think that's something that really works with, again, because it is that overwhelming sense of self, which is so cool for Yuji's character, because it's now contrasting with this overwhelming sense of others. Again, that empathy he now has in great reserve is, you know, what's going to win out in the end, and it is that empathy. Kind of. I don't know if that theme is super gotten across with the ending of the fight, because it is kind of some extra stuff with Aura. I'm not really sure what to make of that thematically. You know, we can dig into that sometime.
I was just about to get into something like that too. So I can after
Fair
this. Yeah, go ahead.
It's just weird. I think this is inevitable with a series as big as this. I mean, you'll see like things getting thematically kind of muddled with every big shonen ending. We just had MHA end, and while I think it's mostly thematically consistent, there are some weird things here and there. I think most series get away with it by having a number of villains. You can tackle different themes by having different characters and their respective antagonist be the thing that that conflict is about. But I can tell that Akutami's going with like a lot of different ideas, but he's got like one main guy to tackle all this stuff with.
Yes,
it just comes across
exactly.
as, like, unorganized.
Exactly.
Didn't you forget someone?
Oh no.
What's up?
Didn't you forget someone? Another major villain?
Oh yeah, I think he did too.
I meant Uruha.
I was too. Yeah, I think Akutami forgot about them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to cut ahead, but that just made me think. I'm just like, yeah, there is only one villain. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone in the chat has, by the way, asked, Baby Sukuna versus Baby All for One, who wins? All for one.
AFO.
It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like that joke from Gravity Falls. Baby fight.
Yeah.
All for one. He got the little spike mouth thing, and like I don't know, man. What's he doing?
Yeah,
against it? Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
All for One was smart enough to know that you keep your twin brother alive to use him.
Yeah,
gotcha. Type shit. Yeah. I think the whole, like, this is such a niche thing, but like if there's anyone out there who watches basketball, there's like a gif. It's like after Carmelo Anthony, when he retires, he's sitting on the sidelines and a ball rolls over to him. He picks it up, pretends like he's going to shoot. Everyone in the crowd stands up. They're like, oh my God, this legend, he's about to shoot a basketball again. Oh, this is going to be so cool. And then he's like, I'm just kidding, guys. And he sits back down. Everyone's like, Carmelo got us. I think that is Sukuna. Like, Sukuna picks up the ball. I'm like, character development. Nah, I'm just kidding. I was like, fuck, man. Like, I feel like the stuff for Sukuna is like I said before, it's there, but none of it is really, like, we don't really delve too much further deep into it. Like, going back to what Yuji, or like him and Yuji like a while ago, where he was just thinking about like, fuck, man, Yuji has gotten stronger and I don't like this nigga. I should be having fun just beating the fuck out of this dude. But like, why do I not feel like satisfied? What's up with this? And he's thinking like, it's because I know this guy's ideal rings true. Everyone else, you know, I've fought them and they're just like, I dedicated to my cause, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I never really thought about it because they fucking die after I slash their heads off and they never come back. But like Yuji, I have been forced to live with this nigga for a while. And like every single time I stomp on this dude, I stomp on him and his aspirations, he comes back. And he comes back still with that same determined expression on his face. Is it his ideal? Is it his ideal to stop me? I've been so great for so long, I never even really thought about something like that. Well, you know what? My ideal is that I am going to crush your ideal. Like, this is beyond so much of just like I just kind of live how I want. And if you can't deal with it, fuck you. This is like, you and I have a fundamental misunderstanding. You and I, on a fundamental level, we cannot get along. And I want to deny you and every single thing that you stand for to prove that you are inferior, to break your spirit. Like, this is so much of a more personal thing. This is more of a human emotion from Sukuna, because he said like, oh, well, I've been so great, I didn't need that shit, but now he wants this. And then you get later on in the fight with Maki, and he's just like, oh, you're made up of all bone, Jujutsu sorcerers are flesh and blood. This is another instance where he's fighting for the sake of something greater than himself. I'm fighting for Jujutsu to prove why that this is like the correct thing. Like, this is the thing that we should continue going down. This is the path we should continue going down, to validate himself. And now you have this moment where it's just like the idea is there. Like, this stuff here is here, and you can link it to the ideas of like selfishness versus unselfishness. And a big thing is like, when you live selfishly, you may never be satisfied at all. Like, Gojo and Kashimo weren't really satisfied in their lives, and Sukuna seemed to not really be satisfied, with him pondering like, damn, why am I not satisfied fighting this guy? Him traversing throughout the ages, Kashimo even saying like, are you satisfied living this way? And before, Sukuna was just like, you know, it is what it is, fuck boy, die. But now he's starting to think more about these emotions, and like, the stuff is there. Like, it's there, man. Like, it's there, juicy, fucking ripe for the plucking. We can do something with this. But instead, it's just like, It's just a bunch of ideas thrown at a character, and none of them are really expounded upon. It just makes Sukuna feel all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's he has so many good moments, but just as a complete character, it's just kind of messy. It's just kind of messy with how he works as a villain.
There's a lot of good moments, but they don't come together to make a good minute.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sleep in Danger. Bring it up. Yeah, that
I agree.
Stuff was just.
It was dumb. Yes, I agree. It's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what are we talking about? He's just like, oh, I need to prove why sorcery is better. Meanwhile, he's speed blitzing Maki, punching her through buildings, chasing her down. He's like having this grand rant about like, oh, you're denying me. I need to prove why sorcery is better. We cut to Maki. She's pissing herself, dude. She's like, oh, fuck. Like, how am I gonna fight this dude, man? And we're supposed to believe like this is such a massive deal for Sukuna, man. Fuck no, dude. Yeah, fuck no, man. But like, if the effort was there, yeah, like if the effort was made to like make Sukuna care, and it wasn't just a Maki,
I forced to roll on.
Yeah, right? Like it could have been good. It could have been good, man. But nah, brother. We got raw aura man. We got swag tax Sukuna out here, man. He sure is a cool guy. Fucking Uruha just constantly just being like, yeah, that nigga is so powerful. He's so strong and blah 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 blah. Instead of like just actually allowing this nigga to have character moments, man. Fuck, man.
These character moments, they're good.
They're good, man.
They're really good.
God damn, man.
Like, I feel like I gotta make this clear to just some people who might be watching. Like, there is so much actually good stuff in this final arc. It's just like not put together. Like, I feel like there's a puzzle in front of me, like all the pieces are scattered and they just aren't fitting.
Yeah, man.
There should be a complete picture, but it's just a bunch of pieces.
Unironically, Sukuna would be the type of person to make a puzzle that doesn't like work.
Bro, like that's another thing that could be like addressed. It's just like Sukuna has been he's been the hierarchy. He is the king of this entire power system. All of this pain and torture that comes with the Jujutsu world, Sukuna is there to enforce it because this is just how this shit works. And we can't even take a moment to just be like, holy fuck, we beat that guy. Like, we just immediately skipped to just like, hey, Megumi's here. It's just like, fuck, dude. Damn. And like, don't get me wrong, I love like Megumi waking up and seeing Nobara, like Yuji stuffing Nobara in a box and they get caught in the that's like funny.
That
like
that funny.
That's genuinely amazing. I love that. But like, damn, man, we couldn't
think it was 100% Nobara's idea.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Nobara was like, oh, we gotta get this nigga, bro.
Hey,
we gotta get
that
him.
Thing that you did that I really fucking hated and was mad at you about? I want to do that. It's my turn.
Yeah, it's my turn, bitch. I love that, man. God, I miss Nobara. She's so great.
Yeah.
She's so great.
You know, I can imagine like a series where there's more of her.
Yeah,
I just
man.
Thought, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck,
man.
Nobara's fucking great. It's good to have her back.
Yeah, man. I love her just sitting there. I wish they would have kept the unofficials because she's just sitting there. She's like, yeah, so the class Madonna came back. How do you guys feel? Thoughts? Did you cry? Did you piss yourself? Like, that's funny, man. That's awesome.
And Megumi's just like, there's only 3 people in our class. What the fuck? That's
Yeah, no, I miss these guys. Okay, I think like everyone was having in their thoughts on Nobara coming back, but seeing them, all 3 of them like this again, I'm glad to see.
It's great.
That she's back.
It's legitimately great.
Like, I honestly am.
What were you saying, Sky?
Nothing.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
I'm
kidding. I was just thinking it's like John Weary-isms.
oh
Yeah.
my god,
Because
this dude.
John
So,
Weary.
just to check, like because in with the Hikari and Urume scene,
Oh yeah,
in the-
I was gonna bring this up.
in the officials, Urume says if Sukuna lost, it's because he was a fully fleshed curse.
I was thinking the
wrong,
same thing.
right?
Yeah,
What
it's
the hell?
wrong.
Nowhere is like I saw someone post about that, but there's like the word curse isn't in there.
Bruh. Oh
Like,
my
Bro's
god.
making it up.
Bro's writing
That's
his
just
own
what I'm
story.
hearing, but, like, what the fuck?
Bro, I saw a theory on Twitter, and honestly, I would not be surprised. They were like, I would not be surprised if John Weary is a surname for an AI program. Because, like, how do you fuck up this hard? Like, fuck, man. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't know how that
they
nigga has a
gotta
job.
be doing it on purpose.
I don't know how he has
Like-
a job, man. I just don't
I
get it.
think
If he is real.
I think that what I heard, which obviously none of it's correct, but like what I heard is like, oh, I think he's just like terminally offline, so he has no idea
He fucking better be, bro. Jeez.
about the series or anything. And it's funny to think about because that like that's possible, but also like so no one at Viz is like, hey man, everyone hates this and says that you're wrong. You want to double check? Like,
Yeah.
surely. I don't understand how that's possible.
Bro,
for him to-
even like
like,
JJK
look-
voice actors are voicing just displeasure about his translations.
All I'm saying is like I think I could take a couple courses, and like they'd probably hire me. You know,
Bro, I got
I-
a 100-day
couple
streak on
versions
Duolingo.
Japanese.
Can I get hired?
right? Like I clearly the standards are I don't want to insult too much because clearly translation is a hard job, but like how do you fuck that up? Like just
He's a
words that
bastard.
aren't even there. Like how do you mess that up?
I have
I don't-
bottomless
I don't get
respect
it.
for translators, scanlators, people who do
Absolutely.
that
It's
work
hard.
are
It's
honest
difficult, man.
God heroes. But a big part of that kind of work is engaging with the community because it's not something like
Oh fuck, what was his name? He was the MHA translator and the Dr. Stone translator. He did that a lot.
it was Caleb.
That's
something.
right.
Caleb Cook, I
Yeah.
think.
Caleb Cook.
Yeah, Caleb Cook,
He
yes.
would do threads every week on the chapters and like here's why I translated it this way. It's really cool.
And it's like
That's
you don't
so
necessarily
cool, man.
have to like put that much work into it, but you have to be willing to engage with the fandom to some extent because that's why like TCB scans are really good because they like the series for some reason. So when Nobara comes back, they know they're like, oh, this is a reference.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like with John Weary, .ai,
Dude, it's even better for
what's
TCB because they'll include like stuff at the end. Like I'll never forget
yeah.
Yuki's
Yeah.
Star Rage chapter came out and they're like, "Hey, here's what Star Rage is." And they had like an entire page dedicated to it. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like I just understood all these references so much more. That's great.
yeah, and like it's because what I think is happening with John Weary is he's reading it. I assume he can speak Japanese. Or,
Shit,
read
I fucking
Japanese,
hate.
understand
I
it.
fucking hope so.
And then he's translating what he's interpreting the intent as without the context and really the knowledge to make that judgment because that's how we just get all of these mistakes that are like, oh, why did Sukuna lose? In the TCB it says like, oh, because he was a reincarnated sorcerer. And then in this it's like, oh, it's a fully fleshed curse. And it's like,
Bro.
I understand how you would just kind of mix and match words to get that, but that's not the same thing.
It's even worse because last week, last week's chapter where Sukuna and Yuji were fighting before Nobara hit resonance, in the TCB, Sukuna is saying, "Oh, Yuji's output is low. He can't use RCT. He's on the ropes." But in the
wait, that's-
officials, he says Yuji can't heal himself because of a healing technique. It's like
He can't heal himself due to RCT.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, what? Like,
honest
bro,
to
he's
God,
bleeding too much. Must be all those band-aids on him.
Yeah, right.
I honest to God understand how someone can make that mistake with all the terminology. If I was translating the series, I might fuck that up.
Yeah,
I admit
absolutely.
That. I'm not being fucking paid to do it. This isn't my job.
That's what I'm saying, man.
If I'm getting paid to do it, I'm doing my research.
Like,
bro.
what the hell?
It's genuinely like, because JJK has had some,
oh my God.
like,
can you believe that Gojo has the ability to manipulate cursed spirits? Can you
Bro.
use that so remember?
Yeah, Sukuna said that Malevolent Shrine adapts to techniques, guys. Mahoraga is in Malevolent Shrine. You guys didn't know?
Yeah, it's so cool.
You didn't know that? Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Bro, it's even worse because, like,
This shit is so ass.
these make it to the volumes, man. Like, I was reading
Yeah,
one of the
that's
volumes to
the
catch up.
Like, I don't want to buy the volumes.
Yeah, like I was reading one of the volumes because I love collecting manga. This is my addiction. But like I was reading one of the volumes to catch up, and they spell like words are just spelled wrong. It's like, fuck, man. Damn it. No, man. Hey, the Yuki volume just came out. I just got that. I think that's when he says like the whole thing with Gojo using the cursed spirit. You know what? Let me check right now, chat. Live reaction. It's right next to me. I just got to open up my closet. It's in there. Hold on.
Oh my God, live Sailor reaction.
Oh my God.
This isn't my job.
It's just, I don't know. You have to care. It's one of those things. Is translation is so heavily context based. You cannot just take the words at face value, and I don't even think he's doing that because the words are just sometimes not there.
Blood just be making shit up.
Sunglasses.
Bro, just be making shit up, chat.
Like I kind of want to just run a lot of these moments through Google Translate and see which are more accurate. Because, like, it feels wrong to talk so much shit, but, like, I don't know, man.
ChatGPT probably does have a better translation.
I think that legitimately, like, we, as fans, have a right to ask for more.
Yeah,
I think
especially if we're paying for it.
Like, I think saying like, "Oh, John Weary's an asshole," he's like actual slander. It's like, yeah, that's probably going too far. But I do think we can say his translations are bad, and he should stop doing this. Go translate fucking Nue's Exorcist. Like, unrelated Nue's Exorcist, the fucking wicked sick this week. That shit was so cool.
I'm so happy you're finally justified.
I know, right? If you're watching this, just go read the most recent chapter. You won't understand anything that's happening, but there's a page that is going to make you piss bricks. Like, it's so cool.
Oh, okay. I think they actually fixed it in this volume. Thank fuck. They fixed the error in this one.
Oh, nice.
Thank God. They have the it's on page 81 where Kenjaku is saying like, hey, special rank signifies that the ability can single-handedly overthrow nation. It can overthrow nations. That's obviously true for Gojo, but Geto can wield an army of cursed manipulation spirits, blah, blah, blah. And he's explaining why he has the ability to like take down a nation. Thank God. Fuck. Thank you, bro, because I was noticing words were spelled wrong. I was like, it's over. It's cool over, man. Fuck, man. Thank God. Really if they're cleaning up the acts of terrorism, then you know what? Maybe we're saved after all. But yeah, I think just as a community, I have always been pro, like, it is okay to like demand more out of a product you pay for. And motherfucker, I pay for this series twice. I pay for the Viz, I pay for the Shonen Jump app, and then I pay for the actual books. Like, motherfucker.
What was it when it's like, would you lose? no.
Yeah, it was just
what
no. And then they got bullied into translating it into "Nah, I'd win."
Yeah. That was the
man.
funniest shit ever.
Fuck, man.
There's definitely there have been times in series where the problem was just fans being assholes.
Yeah, the Caleb Cook situation is prime example.
Yeah, where it's just
that was fucked up.
Yeah, undoubtedly. But I think that, and obviously I do still think that there are people who are going too hard in the paint on this.
I can agree. Yeah.
They need to calm down. But and that's the sad thing about it, because I'm glad that you have the proof that the volumes are better, because that does mean at least
they're fixing
the physical
shit.
final version is better. But
not everybody buys all of the volumes like me.
Yes, some people
when the box set's out, I'll get it.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like, a lot of people just prefer digital. Like, not everybody keeps physical manga.
Yeah, ultimately, I think the issue is that this has been a problem for a long time, but by the point it was acknowledged as a problem, I guess we were just too deep into the series. To an extent, I understand why they wouldn't want to change translators and get a new person.
They did change translators though. John Weary's newer. John Weary didn't come in until the end of the Shibuya incident. I think it was end of Shibuya, beginning of Culling Years.
Oh my god, no, you're right. Yeah, because what is it?
They had the one guy come in.
Yeah.
It was Lightning on Twitter, and he translated one chapter, and he still does discussions about the chapters and stuff.
Shout out to Lightning, man. Yeah.
God, he just knows what he's talking about.
Never mind. There's absolutely no excuse.
It was for a while, because I was waiting for the translated by John Weary when I was reading the volumes, and it didn't come until way later. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no excuse then. Never mind. If they are willing to just switch translators for a series, then what the hell?
It's so unfortunate, because before, when I read JJK, I fucking hated this story because the translations were ass. Bro, there was 10 different names for domain expansion, and then they introduced simple domains. Fuck off!
Oh my god,
bro,
it really is there is no how have we come full circle?
I know, man. Fuck! I reread JJK with officials, and it was great.
All we had was terrible fan scans.
Someone is bringing it up. Is that Funeral for the Living was pretty hard, I gotta say.
Funeral for the Living is hard.
Moments. There's moments, yeah.
There's definitely good moments. It's just that the problem is that a few cool translations, in my opinion, do not forgive legitimately just getting the series wrong.
Getting things wrong, yeah.
That's what makes it so bad, because once again, you could legitimately, somebody could read, if somebody was just right now, let's say somebody said, oh, I've heard JJK is good, I'm gonna just read the series on Viz, and they went through it, they're like, huh, why did Gojo never use curse spirits?
That would have been really helpful.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Bro, people would be reading the series and they'll be like, but wait, how could Gojo, he used Black Flash, but he has the 6 eyes. How could he do that? I thought he couldn't use Black Flash because of the 6 eyes. Did he turn the 6 eyes off? How do you turn the 6 eyes off?
You close 4 of them and then they just become 2 eyes again.
Yeah. Maybe Gojo hit him when he wasn't looking. I don't know.
This is a bit of a tangent, but I was rereading some of
that.
Oh, I know. I was rereading some of Oshinoko recently.
I'm so sorry.
I know. I was reading the play. I was reading the play because I wanted to remind myself of when this was.
Oh, okay, yeah. That shit was peak. Yeah.
And
I just finished that arc in the anime.
It's really good.
It's really
good. Around the end of it.
It's the moment where the one shitty actor dude does the cool thing, and in the original fan scans, what Aqua says is oh, if a shitty actor suddenly did something really cool, that's lit.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
The chapter ends, and like the note at the bottom is like, "It's lit."
It's lit.
I was going back through it again, and the official scans now. He says like, "It'd be dynamite." I'm like, "Ah."
Ew.
Akasaka's work is a very interesting example of translations where I don't think it's necessarily the wrong choice to do what they do, but the fan scans are so much better at capturing how, like, of the time it is.
Yeah, man.
Like, I'll never forget the one chapter where Ishigami's just talking about Apex Legends.
He's talking about Apex, yeah.
He's like,
fucking awesome.
and they're like, "Oh, what about this team comp? Oh, damn, that would be sick as fuck."
Yeah, man. There's an entire chapter dedicated to Discord too. Like,
Yeah,
it's great, man. This shit's awesome.
And the officials is just like, "Oh, that would be an aggressive comp," and it's like,
Yeah, right. Like, damn.
That's an example where it's like, that's preference. I would never really say like, "Oh, well, these are much worse." Like, I have my preferences for the
for
Kaibutsu,
sure. Yeah.
for the Kaibutsu scans, but I think it's completely reasonable to translate it like that. It's not as though they just made him say something else. Apex Legends. Actually, I prefer Overwatch 2. It's like, no, my God.
No!
This isn't the one I love.
He's rude.
I actually prefer
The
playing.
manga I love.
I prefer
I
playing
like League of
Concord.
Legends.
No! Save him! No!
But I'm sorry. Yeah, we're getting so off track.
Yeah, that's the podcast,
It's-
man.
I
That's the
prefer not
Interesting.
talking
podcast.
about translating.
and like 49 people apparently agree. So I'm just saying. Clearly, we know what's up. But yeah. I feel like we're missing something. Oh yeah, Uraume.
You know, it was
Oh, man, this is the worst fucking fight ever.
it was
Allegedly.
to me. I mean, yeah, allegedly. I don't know, but
Series is so dumb.
bro, it's unfortunate
I
because
never thought I'd hear you say that.
Shit fucking sucks. Dude. I hate it.
for a while I wanted to see this fight, man, but eventually I was like, I don't care anymore, so I
It's like,
can't
okay.
act too mad.
Admittedly, if I'm being objective, like if we're being objective,
Yeah.
it would not have been an amazing fight because Hikari actually has a very boring fighting style fundamentally because his ability is just I don't die.
Yeah, I'm
And
lucky.
we know from the Kashimo fight that he's always going to get the right rolls.
It's always
It
gonna hit. It literally his probability increases the more he gambles.
Which is not a problem because the fights are sick.
That fight was
Yeah.
good.
The
It is
Kashimo
a
fight,
great
really great.
one-fight gimmick.
Yes.
yeah. And like there could definitely be neat stuff, some like cool imagery with Orome like freezing his limbs off or some shit, breaking them and him like growing them back, stuff like that. But fundamentally, it wouldn't be that amazing of a fight. Plus, there's the fact that just like thematically, they aren't real. There's nothing there.
There's
Really.
nothing.
But it would have been a funny fight.
It would have been.
And everyone knows that. That's why we've been making memes about all of fucking whatever garbage rom-com he's reading being transplanted into his brain.
That would be funny.
shit.
Yeah.
That, like, just for a chapter, that shit would be hilarious. But we didn't get it. And I cannot honestly say that that is a slight against the series, that it's garbage because of that.
Right.
But man,
It's just
like
disappointing.
One more thing that we want that we didn't fucking get.
It's not even like, oh, we want it. Well, too bad. That's not what the author wanted to do. No, the author did it. We just didn't see it.
Bro, it's so unfortunate. Yeah. Like
It's-
we don't even get to see like his reaction to like Kashimo dying because that was the big reason why he did that because he's like I need to make sure Kashimo gets a fair one. It would have been funny to cut over to like Hakari's like face like oh fuck
Damn, this might go.
damn bro holy like it would have been funny to see that and like Uruha being like this your man's this is the dude who
Hashimo
you
clock ended early.
yeah, right. This is who you stepped in the fight. This is your guy. This is who you rock with. Trash. Yeah, man. Hikari didn't even
we
get
have
to
the
land a Black
callback
Flash.
at the end of their fight, where Hikari's like, "This your man?
Yeah, this your fucking guy? This is your goat?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
This is your washed up goat." Yeah, it's just, once again, like, it's not as though this is like, this is not the worst thing about JJK. This is not even a particularly bad thing. It's just a bummer, and we can now add it to the list of things that are a bummer.
Yeah.
As far as like stuff that, you know, would have been cool to see, put it right up there with, you know, the 3 protagonists interacting. God forbid, put up with Gojo having anything to say. So that's another thing I want to ask. And, you know, once again, my memory isn't the best with this series, but did we see Gojo and Yuji's conversation?
No.
I don't remember.
No, we did not.
No.
Okay, we could always see it later. Like, maybe that's the last chapter.
I hope so.
Like, it starts with their conversation, and then it's Gojo's like, "Don't forget, this truly was our sorcery fight," and that's like how the series ends. You know, something that this series would do.
Yeah.
But okay, but even then, that's like still very legitimate complaint that you've had Sailor that Gojo came back and then like we get our backfilled on his like character interactions, but even then, it's not like that much.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it did like a good job concluding Gojo's character. I like that, but like, I just wish like, hey, it would have been cool to see this stuff like in real time instead of like after the fact. But like, I guess I can't complain too much about it now, just because like it did its job. Like I said, it did what it was supposed to. It made me like actually content with Gojo's death, because God, 236 is still dookie butt ass. But like we got the rebound with Gojo, man. So it was good. And then fucking Yuta came back in his body, and that didn't mean fuck. Yeah.
Yuta.
That nigga is like trash, bro.
They gotta save him, I guess.
Yeah.
I will say I do quite like after all the slander, I actually do like the officials.
Where, I was gonna say I love that.
Where he's like, "We have to save him." And Megumi's like, "Oh, save him from them?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Son of a bitch.
So glad that Yuta's alive, because man, if his last moment was whiffing a purple, that would suck, man.
Bro, that'd be so unfortunate, bro.
You don't want to talk about going out sad. Oh, Sukuna would have nothing on that.
Yeah. Bro.
Oh my God, bro. His purple was so ass. All it did was leave a scar on Sukuna's face that got healed 2 chapters later. Like, fuck,
It was
man.
magenta.
Yeah, right? Fuck, man. Like, he got hit by that, broke the domains, and then his controller disconnected. It's like, well.
That shit was hollow, horrible.
Yeah, right? God damn, bro.
Yeah, no, that was...
This nigga Yuta was like trolling in Gojo's body, man. I brought it up before, but like charging up Hollow Purple in front of Sukuna and then being surprised he smacks you in the face to stop you from doing it. What are we doing, bud? What are we doing?
It's weird how he was kind of like ass.
Bro, yeah.
Like, it was the point, but like,
it makes sense, but like it really legitimately, like, did it affect anything in the course of the fight?
Yeah,
like, really?
It just gave Sukuna a chance. And like, for sure, I like it answered the question that Geto posed to Gojo all that time ago. Like, Gojo was the strongest because he was him. It wasn't just because of his power. I love that. But in terms of like Yuta just being like, oh man, this technique is so delicate. Let me use blue right next to me. Wait, Sukuna rode blue and now he's right next to me and rocked my shit. Oh no, let me charge purple right in Sukuna's face. Oh no, he stopped me. Like, bro, fuck, man.
Who could have foreseen any of this coming? I don't know. The dude 6 eyes.
No, yeah, it's like, God damn. That was another thing that we could have went way more in depth on, but yeah, nah. We have him just fucking shooting off hollow magenta, controller disconnects. Inumaki, that's another thing that like, fuck, man. We had Inumaki on voicemail the whole time and we just couldn't use him at a more opportune moment.
actually insane.
Fucking hell, man.
I will forever like question why like we just didn't have the soul grab plus instant death sword that saves Megami.
Like, fuck, man. Like, that could have been so good, but like, nah.
Think about it.
Miguel needs to go in with LaRue.
They didn't think about it. They didn't fucking think about it.
Miguel's gotta get his run back.
Yeah, we need fucking Miguel, bro. It's like, bruh. What the fuck?
It's just actually insane. I'm not gonna like harp on it for the rest of my life.
No,
like,
I will harp on it right now. Kisuke, why would Inumaki have died?
Right now.
Why would Inumaki have died? Because in the moment where Yuta touched down and he was like, oh, when he first touched down, he said, or Sukuna said, my output is on the same level as Yuta's. So, like, if they used it in the domain with Yuji, Yuta, Rika, why would that have been, like, a problem? Even beforehand, if the output was the same as it was when they first used it against Sukuna inside of the Gojo and Sukuna domain, why would Inumaki have died? What? We could explain that, but the story doesn't. And so now I'm just left to wonder, like, hey, if his output was like the same throughout the entire fight, and, you know, not the exact same, you know, fluctuations, black flashes, curse techniques being used, blah, 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 right? I can believe that. But when we first touch down, when Sukuna is like reincarnated, it's like, oh, yeah, my output's the same, like, because of the fight with Gojo, not because of like Yuji punching my soul once or whatever. Because of the fight with Gojo, I am now on the same level of output as Yuta. So, like, with that being said, why don't we have Inumaki on voicemail? Why don't we have him there with Higuruma? Why don't we have him there with Yuta in the domain? Why don't we have him there with Maki? Why don't we have him in other places? You know what I'm saying? Why don't we have him during all these other sections? Instead, he just comes in for that nigga Yuta to absolutely shoot out a hollow lavender, and then we never get anything else from that. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's the part that I'm talking about, man. That's what I mean when I say this is like a bad thing.
JJK fact 256. They didn't do that because they didn't think of it.
Yeah, right? Like, fuck, man. Oh, my lordy, lord. Like, again.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
People keep bringing up, like, different strategies, too. Like, yeah, Higuruma plus Toto. Holy shit.
That would have been fucking crazy, man. Like, what the hell? What are we doing?
You can't get it. I don't know why, but you clearly don't get it.
Well, I just think it's so funny that Higuruma is such an insanely valuable fighter that he had to be nerfed by fighting alone.
Bro, yeah. Bro.
Like, just could not pair him. They just did not think, man, this is literally our best outcome. So we need to pair him up with the people who cannot help him.
Yeah, bro, like they had him surrounded, and then Sukuna was just like, all right, I'm just gonna throw this nigga. Even though, like, it wasn't even just the fact that he was protected by that where he had to fight solo. It was the fact that, of course, you know, the butt plug curse tool got taken away and not Sukuna's actual techniques. And we know now because Kamutoke didn't get taken back. Kamutoke was not returned to Sukuna, so he would have lost his techniques throughout the entire fight. And that would have been just fucking GG's.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about the baby rattle.
Yep.
Oh my god,
this is a nitpick that this is a nitpick, but whatever. We never see his other weapon or what it does. Like, I don't know, man. I think it does. It's a bit hollow of a victory if, like, we don't even, like, see him at his best. And I get that's, like, kind of the point at the end with Urame, but, like, okay.
Yuta took hollow purple way too literally. He actually didn't put nothing in this shit.
Sukuna would just use domain. He doesn't have his domain at that point. And fucking everyone can dodge world slash at this point. So, like, what does it matter?
Fucking me was alive.
Me was alive, yeah. Like, I don't...
That's what matters.
Did anyone die to that?
No.
Kashima didn't even
Well,
die to it.
I mean,
Gojo died to it.
Gojo died to it. That was it. It was just used for utility. Yeah, the world slash
domain.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
But,
domain.
like, Miwa survived domain.
Yeah,
And
she
you
got
couldn't use world
she got
slash
clapped
there.
out by Toto. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. If Sukuna just spawned in and was just like domain, he would have like a brain aneurysm. That unlimited void fucked him up, man. Fucked him up. What the fuck was Miwa walking in the Cullen games? Bro, I'll let you know when I find out. Chat, I'm never talking to him again. I'll let you know when I find out, bro. Hey, you be easy. I'm never writing him back.
and here's the thing, right? Because I get like the idea of, oh, they need to spread his strength out more. But again, that doesn't make any sense because they were still putting so much of their bet onto Higuruma as their best outcome. Maybe I'm misremembering, but like, don't they just straight up say like, yeah, this is our best shot at winning and saving Megami? Like,
Yeah.
As far as they were concerned, he was their best chance at an actual full victory.
Because they wouldn't
So
have to
even
actually
if
fight him. They could just stab
even
him with
if-
the sword.
Exactly. So even if we're saying it's like, well, they had to spread his strength out, why were they putting their best chance in the spreading his strength out fight if they're not going to try to give that guy his best shot? It doesn't.
Why would
like,
you
no matter
not
how
have
you look
Toto
at it,
there?
Kaisen fact number
Especially-
237. They didn't think of
Fucking-
it.
And it's like, it just, no matter how you look at it, the only way a coin toss, that's a real fucking heavy coin toss. Like, heads is straight up, it's a cheat coin, all right? Like, I don't know how else to put it. It's a cheat coin.
It's a weighted coin.
That's that
Shit.
Exactly.
It's a Harvey Dent-esque coin.
I think it's
Exactly.
yeah. I
Two
think
days
just
ass coins.
having Toto there would have been crazy, bro. Like even if for some reason LaRue is just like, well, I need to back up Miguel because Miguel doesn't want to enter until like later on. Like just having Toto there with his 50 swaps with Higuruma, that's fucking insane, bro.
They
Like that's
have
fucking crazy.
multiple methods to make a single attack undodgeable. Like
That's what I'm
the
saying,
Uzumaki thing,
man.
They had the Laure thing, and they had Toto, and it's just, I don't know.
They picked none of them.
They picked
don't-
none of them, bro.
It's just weird.
And
I
not to
think-
mention, like, he could even, like if he wanted to, I mean, Sukuna's seen him shrink his sword, but, like, what if he shrinks his sword, passes it off to somebody else? Like, what if that happens? And now other people have the sword, and now Sukuna has to take into account, like, other people have it. They're playing fucking hot potato, and I'm being swapped around 50 times a second. Like, what? Fuck, man.
I want to put it out there real quick that, yeah, there are definitely times in a series where certain things won't happen because the characters didn't think of them. Or, okay, yeah, I guess if they thought of this single perfect plan, like, then, yeah.
Then
they
shit
could
would have just
win
worked,
easily.
yeah.
But, like, I am being led to believe that these are characters who had, like, a very
2
long
months,
time
right?
to plan.
They had a
2
month.
months?
Yeah,
They had a month. They
I
had
think they had a month, yeah.
to plan. They have some of the smartest characters in the series and a variety of some of the best curse techniques in the series.
Bro, they have the smartest character. Higuruma's right there.
And
Now
it's
you're
like,
fucking Kusakami.
I'm supposed to believe that these characters with this much time and this much intelligence are dumber than us dumbasses at our computers. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
These
we are
motherfuckers who
geniuses.
have like a psychological exam in jujutsu in the Gojo versus Sukuna fight, but now they're just duh.
like we're not geniuses, and we're not working with like a
No.
whole lot more information. They were working with more information than us. They knew more about their planning than we ever could have. So
Mhm.
like, I don't know. It's just silly.
It's in a situation like this, characters are allowed to not make the correct decision.
Yeah,
It just
that's-
has to have. Generally, that has to be the result of a flaw, either because they're
Yeah.
stupid. Like, okay, if Yuji doesn't make the absolute optimal decisions. That's fine because he has ideals. And like it's the same thing where like them not just Maki not just killing Sukuna when she had the chance and like cutting off the head because she wanted to save Megami. Like it's okay that she did that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not an optimal decision.
Character.
It's because she wanted to save him. That's fine.
Yeah.
But something, like Higuruma not being used in that way, being thrown away, because ultimately what it is Akutami recognized that, oh, this is the most OP thing on their side. I have to get rid of it immediately.
Yep.
And that's what it feels like. And that's bad when you feel like, oh, this was literally written out of the story because it was too good. It's like, well, shit, don't write it in.
And I feel like the story tried to make it seem like it was a flaw with he's like, oh, no, it was my inexperience. I didn't know it would take away a cursed tool. But again, it just feels like, especially since that cursed tool did nothing, like it just feels like, oh, well, fuck. Just have him take away the cursed tool and then Sukuna kills him and then he keeps his technique and then we can keep going, rather than like a genuine mistake from a character.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. It's just there's a lot of problems with this fight. I think anyone, even big fans of the series, can acknowledge there's just issues, and that's fine. I think there's a lot of cool stuff here. Just the whole Shinjuku showdown, that's what it's called. It's just messy.
very.
There's a lot of stuff I've really enjoyed, and it really is indicative of this latest chapter that we have certainly branched off of.
It is very admirable to try something like this, because this is an unconventional type of climax that is dealing with a whole lot of elements. Because it's something like the Frieza fight in Dragon Ball, but instead of lasers, the characters have fucking manuals on how their power works.
Yeah.
There's a lot more characters and a lot more complicated abilities.
Yeah, there is a lot to juggle here, so it makes sense. But at the same time, the being overly ambitious is a flaw. Inherently. Like, I think we are allowed to say that he did not execute perfectly given all of the material in the setup.
Yeah.
And oops, did I describe Sukuna's character as well?
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
It is what it is. I think, again, this chapter is pretty indicative. There is a lot of stuff I like in this latest chapter, but overall, as a climax, it's definitely pretty messy. And that's...
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's... JJK is a series that I think you're right. Overambition is a big part of it. Because I think back to, like, my favorite arc in this series is Hidden Inventory. And that's because it is just a really small scale, very tightly written story.
It's so solid.
All of its characters
So good.
are just so perfectly handled, and there's just a few of them. It genuinely gets the most out of every element in that story. And it's hard to do that when you have, like, fucking 20 plus characters all fighting.
All fighting the same dude.
And it's like, yeah, no, I again, and yeah, someone's bringing it up. It's like, these are all just nitpicks. Yeah, but when you have, like, 50 nitpicks, it kind of does add up.
It adds up, yeah.
And...
Plus, I wouldn't consider, like, hey, here's how they could have won the fight easier if they just thought for 2 seconds and nitpick. But even if you do, like Zenith said, it eventually all adds up,
It's hard to really buy into the fiction and feel like, I like Higuruma a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's a shame that he died.
Yeah.
But in the back of my head, that moment is marred by the fact that, like, well, why the hell did they send him out there?
Bro, yeah, Weary Exile
He
brings up a great point. When the cast is, like, surprised by Sukuna having an open domain, niggas did not say anything. Yuji, you didn't talk to these niggas at all? Like you didn't let Gojo know, oh, by the way, this guy has an open domain. What? Like, what are we?
Back number 238.
What the fuck? Like, what is going on, man?
He forgot about it. Leave him alone.
What the fuck? Like, we're sitting here, like, even Gojo's like, what the fuck, an open domain? Like, we didn't talk about this in the big strategy meeting to kill Jujutsu Satan. We didn't talk about, like, his big power. We didn't discuss this. Fuck,
So
man.
weird.
Jujutsu Lucifer?
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's like, bro, come on, man.
Like, I gotta say, they had like the whole classroom and everything. These dudes are skipping class.
That's what I'm saying, man.
They were not showing up. Like, I know Gojo didn't show up because like he was confident. No one pulled him aside like, hey man, dude,
Bro.
like you should know.
Bro.
They thought they were giving a TED talk. That shit was a TEDx talk.
Like, oh,
I
shit,
can-
brother.
Cares.
I can forgive Gojo not knowing because yeah, he just probably was not listening. He did not care. He was just gonna go in. But like no one knew.
Everyone was just like surprised. Like, even the fact that, like, what? Kenjaku has an open barrier domain? You didn't tell them how Yuki died? Like, you maybe like want to like go in depth of just like, hey, Yuta, by the way, this nigga has an open domain, so it is imperative that you do not fight this guy. Like, it is imperative. We need you at full strength when you come back to fight Sukuna. And we don't know how that's going to act. We don't know how that's going to go. It is imperative that we sneak this nigga. Like, even for something like that, even if you don't want to talk about the fact that, like, okay, Sukuna has an open barrier domain, just the fact they're like, what? Kenjaku has one? You can do that? What? Like,
You
what?
can do that?
Wallahi, bro. I know Yuta was sitting in that circle like, well, thank fuck I know that now. Like, you niggas, y'all didn't want to tell me about that. Damn, bro. Damn, y'all were setting me up to fucking fail, brother. Like,
Jujutsu Kaisen, fun fact, number 240. He forgot.
fuck, man. Like, even if you wanted to have like a gag about that, with like, oh, Kenjaku has an open barrier domain, and the next page is Yuta going, what the fuck? Like, what, you weren't gonna tell me, man? Damn, man. It's just indicative of the fact that, like, it feels like a lot of people don't really interact unless, like, the story needs it to happen, and when that happens, we see it in a flashback. I think that's one of my bigger issues with not the entire structure, but, like, a lot of the structure of Shinjuku Showdown, with the flashbacks in particular. But hey, it's not all bad. Like I said before, it made me really find closure with Gojo's death. I think that shit was awesome. Aside from, you know, Mahoraga just continuing to adapt, which, like, why? But, like,
Because he's in Malevolent Shrine. Didn't you read?
like, that's still something, like, I brought it up before. It's just like, Sukuna says, yeah, Malevolent Shrine. God, I'm John Weary. Mahoraga keeps adapting even after it's figured out a way to adapt. Why? Anyway, nigga, I got a world / die. What? Like,
It's
What a
crazy.
nonsense word.
That, like, Megumi was just a delivery boy. He was just there.
that's all he was. Yeah.
Sukuna Mahoraga.
Yeah. That's so
What a
sad.
man, that sucks.
I thought
That's
it was
so
like,
unfortunate.
Mahoraga is like a massive symbol of Megumi's like failings as a sorcerer, and him taming it is going to be like this massive development for him. Oh, fuck, this is going to be so cool. No.
Dude, because I remember the talks, right? Like all the talks
Oh my
about
god,
the
dude.
stuff that Megumi would one day be able to pull off. And like, well, actually, this was just a huge thing in general within the series when, you know, like Shibuya was going on. Was like, okay, we're seeing all of these characters put in genuinely life-threatening situations now, where things are crazy. But imagine how crazy it's going to be when they've reached their full potential. And it's like all of these talks, like this is what Nobara is going to be able to do. This is going to be what Megumi's going to be able to do. This is going to be what Yuji's going to be able to do. I can't wait to see them all fight at their full potential together.
I mean, we saw Yuji.
Neither can I. I still can't wait.
It's like,
fuck.
It's not necessarily a problem that we didn't get these things. It's just genuinely weird that like Megumi's potential was such a big deal early on, and it never really mattered that much.
It didn't matter for his character. Yeah,
exactly.
It is interesting.
And it's just weird. It's just weird.
It's interesting to use it for what happened to happen, where Megumi's potential and everything was really hyped up, and we realize now that the reason was because it was hyping up Sukuna when he would have that.
Yep.
That's interesting for sure.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said about how it was executed, how shocking it was, and everything like that. But and ultimately I do think that it executed on that front. Like, when Sukuna took Megumi's body, I'm like, oh, fuck.
That was such a that's one of the craziest twists I've ever read.
Genuinely, I was
what
like,
was that, like 213? That chapter is fucking crazy, bro.
I was hyping the fuck out of that chapter when it came out.
I will still gas the fuck out of that chapter. It's great.
I think there's a lot of cool stuff. I think in with a lot of the build up, it genuinely is a really cool chapter. I can't say I love all of the stuff it led to.
Yeah, it's just, but ultimately, like, you can also acknowledge that, like, that means cool. The sacrifice necessary for that was Megumi's character.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A lot of the potential development, and it's not fair to like be like, oh well, would have been better if it didn't happen, if this happened, because we don't know.
Yeah,
but just be a different series at that point.
We do know how it did go out, what did happen, and I'm not super satisfied with it because Megumi's my favorite. I'll say it.
I'm so sorry.
I remember when Sukuna was your favorite.
Yeah, and then they became the same person, and I was like, this is perfect. And then I stopped feeling like that.
Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Man.
I'm allowed to grow and change. I'm not a JJK character. I can meet my full potential just fine.
I could do that. Damn, Weary, not too much on Broken Ronin, bro. That's my goat. That's my goat. I saw the Sharingan thing, thought y'all were doing Boruto. I fell to my knees, bro. That's Sukuna. Not too much. Not too much.
I'd sooner die. We've thought about it. We're like, oh, what if we start talking about Boruto? It could be something fun to make fun of. But like, God, dude, every time I read Boruto, I fall asleep.
You will read Boruto still?
I do.
No.
I want to catch up on it to see what like the big fuss is about, because like as much as I like to hate on things, I also want to like read it for myself so I can like because there was some stuff about early Boruto is like, well, not early Boruto, but like Boruto's character in general I think is like somewhat underrated. I like Boruto. It's just that, you know, they had to make my fucking childhood goat Naruto a deadbeat in order to kick that off, and I fucking hated that shit. Yeah. So
the last time I read Boruto was when Blue Vortex
started.
Okay, I'm just making sure that's what it was called.
Twin Blue Vortex.
It's Twin Blue Vortex, yeah.
It's Twin Blue Vortex started, and I saw some scans on Twitter, and in one of them, he's like about to stab some dude in the face, and he's like, "Guess a retard will always be a retard." I was like,
"Oh my god! Oh my god!"
And then I read the officials, and I was like, "Oh, that was a fan scan." God
damn! I was about to say like,
go crazy sometimes.
I was about to say, bro, close enough.
It's a good example of the translator engaging with the community where he knows exactly what Boruto fans want because he is one. It's like, yeah, they want their goat to call this guy a retard.
Close enough. Welcome back, Ultimate Gohan. Let's go. Yeah, man. I do want to read up on Boruto one day, and who knows, maybe y'all see a video later down the line where I'm like, damn, this shit kind of poop butt ass. But you know,
that's the title title of the video.
Yeah, Boruto.
And you'll all look at it and be like, Boruto. Even the people that aren't here will look at it and be like, he's talking about Boruto.
It'll be like Boruto Twin Poo Vortex, and that'll be.
Shut
Be.
up.
Yeah, you gotta stop, bro.
Bro. Think of that, bro. That shit goes crazy. That title goes crazy, bro.
Oh, I agree. It's crazy.
Chat, if any of y'all make a Boruto slander video, y'all can have that for free, bro. They don't have my vision, but I know y'all do. Type shit. But yeah, man. Fucking I was gonna mention this because we were talking about Megumi and someone brought it up in chat. This is something that I would be completely fine with if they just explained it. Megumi got hit with like 5 unlimited voids, and that nigga's like, I'm back, y'all. How? Like,
I'm just saying, people were.
I mean, those were Sukuna's eyes.
Right. Last week on the podcast, we were, people were discussing like the execution of Nobara's comeback as well as an MHA Bakugo's comeback and like comparing those two. Bro, Megumi's is genuinely the most unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Bro, if you wanted to explain it to me, it's just like, well, it was his soul that got washed in it and not his brain. It's like, okay, but like Unlimited Void still has to do like damage though, right? Like what? Because that was a big point. It's like the one who's been taking the damage from Mahoraga to adapt was Megumi. So like clearly it was doing something to that nigga. Are we not gonna talk about like what that did? Like I don't know. Megumi's just back now. It's just a small thing that I was like, man, I would be totally fine if you just like you gave me an explanation. And I feel like that goes for a lot of stuff in Shinjuku where it's just like, this is either needlessly complicated or needlessly simple, but the common denominator is that it's simple. Like, just explain it to me, man. It's simple. It's needless. Like, you can just explain it to me. Like, it's okay. I know we're in an era where like reading comprehension is the big insult, but like, fuck, man, I like it when things are explained to me too. As much as I like reading into stories, I like it when a story just goes, hey, here's what this is. Cool, man. Like, fuck. I like having explanations for things. So, hey, maybe we'll get it in the last 3 chapters. But yeah, now they're gonna go save Yuta somehow, some way. I don't know how, but yeah, they're gonna go save that nigga. Man, hey, Gojo Copers, this is your time, man. This is your time. Y'all can.
Bro, they're gonna be like, we have to save Yuta, and it's like, I'm not Yuta, I'm Gojo, I'm back.
Gojo. Bro, I saw a theory that I was like, this does actually kind of make sense. Someone was saying like, well, Gojo has like a fully functioning brain in him, and if Yuta goes back to his body and it looks like Shoko like stitched his head back up, it seems like she would just put Gojo's brain inside of Yuta's head. And so it was like Yuta they're switched. Like Yuta is in like Gojo's body and Gojo is in like Yuta's body, and then you just have Ui swap them around again. Like you could do that. And I was like, that actually does make a lot of sense, and that would be so fucking funny. So like, hey chat, just for the FYI, I would prefer if Gojo stayed gone. But it would be fucking hilarious if he came back. It would be hilarious, man. I've reached a different cope, chat. Everyone is coping for Gojo. I'm coping for Sukuna. I'm like, there's no way this nigga is this ass, bro. He has to have more. He has to have more. I'm hoping that he took up Yuji and is living inside him now. I'm hoping that's the case. That's my cope, man. That's my fucking cope. But if Gojo does come back, Jesus, that's gonna be like, I can feel the global 1 out of 10 on JJK Mao, like as we speak right now.
the exact opposite, I think. Just think about all the like shrines and shit that people made. I honest to God think that like it would be it would be a smaller deal if Jesus came back.
Honestly, yeah. That would
Because
be fucking
Jesus never had
hilarious,
Jesus never went to the breakup KFC.
Hey man. If Gojo is brought back, that is so fucking funny. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Let me read this donation we got a while ago. Shout out to Hardy Hologram. I'm a thumbs this up, Shine. Can I heart it too? I'm a heart it. There we go. I was so pissed when leaks came out because I saw the Megumi waking up panel first and thought that was the beginning of the chapter, and I was about to lose my shit. Bro, I
Genuinely
mean,
so funny.
yeah, bro, like, it's not too far off, though. That's the crazy part with the pacing of this chapter. It's fucking insane. Yeah, man, I saw, what was the first page that I saw? I think I think it was Megumi coming back too. I think that was the first page that I saw. And I was just like, oh wow. Megumi's like alive. Cool. Cause for a while I was like, fuck man. I would not be surprised if that nigga is just cooked. Yeah, man.
I'm gonna try living for somebody else.
Yeah. Bro.
Immediately.
That nigga said it was so funny. I was like, man, Megumi, I appreciate you doing this now, but you couldn't have locked in like 20 chapters ago, big dog. Fuck. we were getting packed and smoked like some blunts, brother, and like we needed you back there. Fuck, but hey, he locked in now. You know, there was no more casualties except for fucking Choso. And maybe Yuta?
Did we even miss anybody? You know,
it's unfortunate because like I constantly forget Choso died, and like damn,
Yeah,
he's so cool.
I think Yuji forgot too. He does not seem distraught.
I'm like, man, who even cares about Choso? One of my favorite characters. It's fine.
Bro, I would have loved. That's another thing that I would have loved, man. Like just the adrenaline's wore off. We're just like processing everything, like the downtime afterwards, like Yuji like thinking about Choso, or even literally if you just want to have like Yuji seeing Nobara again. That is such a massive thing. Like that's so fucking huge for the both of them, man. Like Yuji seeing Nobara again, that would have been such a, like, bro, I would have cried, chat. They're my two goats, man. Fuck.
I think JJK has a share of emotional moments. As far as its focus, I would not call it an emotional story. Because it's not... It doesn't seem what it's going out of its way to, like, do. You know? Like, a lot of the time. Because stuff like this would be there in, like, a lot of similar series, you know? Like, that's a pretty standard shonen thing, where it's like, this person died. We gotta, like, fucking think about this. Bro, we go to Naruto. Fucking Asuma got, like, chapters where the characters think about it. No one cares about him in the fandom.
Fuck, man. Like
Choso dies and it's like, thank you. Anyway.
Here's my other brother. Let's go. Fuck, man. Can you imagine how fucking cool that would be? A family reunion chapter with Todo, Yuji, and Choso? Nah, I'm bricked.
And it's like, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna hate on this series for not being what it doesn't want to be.
It's not
a very emotional series.
Don't worry, I will.
Want to do this. But, like, it is notable. Because I've seen people talk about JJK like it's, like, the most depressing series you could ever read. Like...
Yeah.
It's such a fascinating situation where the audience just cares about the characters more than the creator.
I've been saying that, and it's kind of funny.
It's really quite funny. Like...
It's fucking
because, like, I'm
crazy,
one of those
man.
people, man. I am. I cared about stuff that he just clearly didn't, and I got to accept that.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Megumi, fucking how
bro.
smart do I
I was mentioning. We'll talk about Kagurabachi. Yes,
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
If Asuma has 0 fans, I'm dead. Hey, shout out you, Manu. But like,
Damn.
I've brought it up
Yeah.
before that Naoya is introduced being like, man, fuck that stupid bitch Megami, bro. I'm gonna go fight him and kill him. They never interact once. Like, they don't talk once. Like, damn,
They got nothing
man.
to talk about. Megami respects women.
Like, bro, it would have been such a cool thing to at least see them have an interaction. But you know, my tribal chief, she slayed the Zenin, which was cool. But yeah, man, fuck, there's just a lot of interactions that I would have loved to have seen. Like, damn, man, would have been cool.
Yep.
Like fucking Gojo and Kashimo over the time skip. That could have been cool. Like, fuck, man. Them talking about what it means to be the strongest, and then you get the answer from Sukuna later on? Damn, dude. Like, that would have been so cool. Fuck. Oh, well, I guess. Oh, well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with these like last few chapters is that every single one is an opportunity to reflect on everything about the series.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's half the fun. Most of the time, anyway. But it's half the
Are
fun.
you having fun? I'm not having fun at all. This has been the most painful, by however long we've been.
Well,
here
that's why I'm
for the
having. That's why I'm having so much fun.
Hour and 40 minutes.
last- Oh my god!
Wait, have we really been talking about this for an hour 40 at this point?
Well,
Yeah.
I talked about my the intro was like 10 minutes, so like an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I live it out that saved, and he's like, oh, okay, thank God.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I've just been listening in on most of this stuff, or well, half listening in, because I've already exhausted my Jujutsu talk. So,
Bro's just enjoying his chips.
Unfortunately, we have dozens of dialogue trees left.
Bro, I love talking about this story so fucking much. And so like, man, looking back on it, because like for a while when I would talk about stuff, it's just like I would see a lot of just like, well, you just have to like wait. Like you just gotta wait and see. And usually I hate that, but it's just like, okay, you know, I'll wait. And now that it's just like, fuck, we got 3 chapters left, dog. Like, damn. It's especially just like, I have no idea what Akutami is going to cover in these 3 chapters, because we went over so much shit in just this one that I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing?
What are there to talk about?
Yeah, like, what else are we gonna do in these 3
Most of
chapters,
them are
man?
dead.
Yeah.
Like, I get why MHA had 5 chapters. No one died. It had a lot to talk about. A lot of people to go over.
A lot of fucking people to go over, man.
I don't know who it's gonna talk. Are we just gonna get 3 chapters on saving Yuta? I don't know. Maybe.
That's just gonna turn into a fucking surgeon simulator.
Bro, we're about to get the Heian era flashback.
Holy, bro! I cannot fucking believe that in a manga that has mentioned Heian era this, Heian era that, chat, the Heian era gets mentioned more than some characters do, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure the Heian era gets mentioned more than Miwa, bruvs.
I was just gonna see that.
And we don't fucking see it? No! Bro, we have an entire arc where a bunch of characters from that period or around that time period come back. And they're like, oh, well, we died with regret, so we wanted to come back in Kenjaku's game, but, like, we don't really trust him because he's Kenjaku. And it's like, oh, do we want to, like, expound on their relationships anymore? No. Fuck, bro. Like, Uro seemed like she had a really cool backstory. We learned a little bit about it. It's like, oh, man, I can't wait to see, like, more of it. It's just like, no, all we get is the Spark Notes version. It's like, damn, bro. Damn, man.
But we should have gotten the Sailor Notes version.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Bro, fucking Sukuna is just like, wow, Yuji reminds me of a sorcerer from way back in the day. Who was Blood talking about? We still don't know. We still don't know, man. Fuck! This is what I'm saying, man. Chat, I'm coping. There's no way. Sukuna has to still be alive, man. There's no way. That's my cope.
It's not happening. Wake up and
No!
smell the.
I don't wanna, man. If Gojo Copers can do it, then I can too, man.
Gojo Copers can't do it. It's killing them. Are you trying to use Gojo Copers as an example of a proper way to live life?
No.
You already lost.
No.
You already lost.
I was saying she doesn't matter. Anyway, I think that Sukuna being alive would be cool because he would be forced to live a normal life and we could get some more shit with him.
That would be neat.
That would be cool. Fucking
Terrible death for Yuta, but whatever.
Hey man, Yuta, I've been saying. Yeah, just put the fries in the bag, bro. I'm sorry. I've been saying, brother. That nigga, bro, that nigga brought back Hana. What did she do? Gave that nigga a ladder to climb up, bro. She gave this man utilities.
So funny because Taka's the biggest Yuta fan. He's not here to defend him.
Oh, I think it's so funny because one of the biggest beefs in the JJK community was Yuta fans versus Hikari fans, and neither of them were happy.
God.
Bro, Hikari didn't even land a black flash, bro, and that shit was all up to luck. That nigga wasn't even lucky.
This is where we find out that we're all just soldiers being used by people who don't care about us. No, it's Hikari. No, it's Yuta, bro. None of them are getting what they want.
Both of them went out sad,
wrong.
bro.
Wake up. This isn't what Snake fought for.
No.
This wasn't the boss's dream.
This wasn't boss's dream, yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah, nah. I mean, Agenda Kaisen is very real, so, that'll always fucking go off, but yeah, man, we don't need to talk about that fucking gambler, bro. Black flashes are all up to luck. Nigga didn't land one.
We don't need to talk about that gambler.
We don't need to talk about that nigga, bro. We don't need to talk about him. Yeah. We're gonna be saving Yuta, maybe Gojo, maybe Sukuna, chat. Maybe Sukuna. But
you sound like Uruha.
Well, I gotta speak on their behalf because they're fucking cooked. All right, it's over, man. They fucking went off.
You don't have to.
They fucking went off into the sky, bro. Listen, Kenjaku's will did not get carried on, but Urume's will. Okay, I will fucking pray that nigga Sukuna is alive so we can have some semblance of actual character writing for this nigga, because I have declared him to be worse Mahito, and he is, but I still want him to do good, man.
Yeah,
I still want
that one thing, where it's imagine if the coalescence of all of these converging plot lines ended up to be total dog shit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Wouldn't that be funny? Bro, oh my god. The hope of the universe coalesces into a single manga.
Into a single piece of shit.
Now, I will say, do we want to, I don't know, I feel like we've covered everything with JJK, huh?
Man, I could talk about this series all day. Maybe we should.
Same.
Yeah, maybe we
It's
should
not healthy.
At
At a certain point, we gotta keep going.
I love talking about this story, man.
It's not healthy, man. It's shit's like booze. I fucking.
I would like to end the JJK segment with this. This is what a series. It's been pretty crazy. And there's been a lot of discourse around, how good or terrible this ending is. Like I said at the beginning, a lot of people are like, oh, it's peak. Oh, it's garbage. Personally, somewhere in the middle. And a lot of people are going to come at it like, oh my God, but the themes. Here's what it's about. And to that, I can only respond by quoting a truly generational hater. I understand the words you're saying, but they don't stir any emotion. I think, oh, so that's the case. But so what?
Man, if only Sailor hadn't spoiled it.
Well, to be fair, I said that at like minute 15. We are on like hour and 50 minutes.
It's
It's
just
all
so...
foreshadowing, buddy.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
foreshadowing. Bro.
I think it's foreshadowing at best.
Oh my god, man. Oh my god.
no.
Still more foreshadowing
No,
than Sukuna.
no, we're 10 shadowing this.
Mm. Type
Anyway.
shit.
Let's not go that far.
But yeah, we can move on now. It's time for our 10-minute section on Kagurabachi Chapter 47. Fellas.
Was it peak? Yes, moving on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let them know how you guys feel. I gotta use the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Oh boy. Jeez.
I guess
Well, usually Sailor like types out our lines and stuff. So since he's not here
he's
to
like
do
the
that,
writer
I'm not
of
sure.
this whole thing.
I mean,
my personality is entirely constructed for this. I have no instruction. Anyway, sick ass color page at the beginning. You know.
Oh yeah,
For
for
I
sure.
feel like it's really establishing like these are the main characters now, like this, which I'm glad to have that feel concrete.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, even just before this arc started, there was always like some debate, like, oh, is Hikari gonna stay a part of the group? You know, how much is Hyuki gonna be involved with Chihiro? It's like, it seems pretty solid that this is our core group. Like, moving forward, these are the characters that are gonna be like fighting on this side, and it feels good to have that established.
Right. Hikari is a pale blonde. I didn't know that. It's like
bro's got almost white hair. Yeah,
he's like a pale blonde.
but,
But,
yeah, no, fair. I think this new what's this guy's name?
Uruha.
He is so funny.
He's great, man.
I love. Sorry, like skipping to the end, where his reaction to like meeting Chihiro is so funny because Hikari's like, he might be kind of screwy, even though he had the same fucking reaction to meeting him.
This nigga might be a weirdo. Oh, really? Pot, here's the kettle, black.
Yeah, I like how quickly he switches up.
I like that. It's literally the meme of the guy. Is the guy dooming in the room, just like, oh my god, Rokuhiro died. I can't fucking believe this. My life is meaningless. What do I have to live for? All of my other friends died. Fucking, I'm on the run for my life. What do I do? Chihiro shows up like, oh my god, Rokuhiro. Like, I can now live again.
OMG, the inventor of the innocent civilian annihilator. My hero.
My god, it's the child of the Child Forsaker 3000. Let's fucking go. Let's go.
What a fucking
Insane.
Oh my god. Let's go. We're back. Let's fucking go.
Oh shit.
That's some real shit, man. That's some real shit.
Oh, sorry, that really did.
Some real shit, man.
What does it even do?
Bro, shit, I don't know. You don't want to see it though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
that's
So
why we're
we
trying to
don't
protect.
know. So his sword, the one he's contracted with, is Kumeyuri. We don't know what it does, right? Of course.
Nah, we don't know.
No, we don't know.
Yeah,
anything.
it's because the Shinichi is kind of implied to be like probably one of, if not the worst.
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
Because Rokuhiro said like that one.
We can never let that come out. Yeah, they had to like double seal that, and then they threw a big 10-year seal on that shit. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah, and all the stuff that we see. Oh my god, what's the Kiristat's name?
Oh, the Preceder, Kyoto.
Like it's like he does all that shit, and he only had it like a 2 centimeters of Adron.
Dude, yeah, it wasn't even unsheathed. Like, oh my god. That shit had me so bricked, chat. I was like, oh my god. Like, there's something so cool. Like, it's just like a different way to use swords. Like, bruh.
Yeah.
I gotta gush about it because I love this series. But when Mifune pulls up Soul Eater Infinite Swords, nigga,
Oh my
I'm
God.
horny.
Sword God.
Ah! Let's go, bro. I just love all of these like different ways to just like use a sword. So like just like this sword is so powerful, even with it sheathed, it's still crazy. Nah, man, this shit's cool. This shit's really cool. But yeah, I like the fact that Uruha like immediately likes him too, because in the previous chapter they were just like, we don't know, he might not be his kid. He's like, nah, this the one. This is my fucking guy. I will follow him. He has that shit on too, man. Like on page 18 where he slices the guys down with the sword. I am fucking with his fit so far, man. He looks so cool. Damn, he looks nice. I can't wait to see what he does more, man. I'm hoping like, what are they? Is it the Kumeyuri is the name of the sword? I'm hoping they like allow him to have that now and they like roll with him for a little bit. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
I
mean,
I can
we're gonna
understand why
see
they
all-
wouldn't, but yeah.
I hope.
Shit, I hope so. Yeah, man. It is so exciting.
And it's just cool to see like Chihiro fighting again because he just did not have his own sword for like a while.
Yeah.
It's just nice. It's just I missed him using it to kill random bad guys.
I did,
It's
bro.
so cool.
Cause like when you have like, oh man, Uruha just being like, oh, we're surrounded, and Hakure's like, he sees the rain, he's like, now we're good. Like, fuck, man. And then it's the panel of Chihiro, like you can see him through the glass, like, nah, dude. He got the new trench coat too. He knows he's that nigga, bro. He knows it.
You just look through the fucking the window and just hear the
Oh shit, we're fucking cooked. Oh no, yeah, man, I love that sort of stuff.
Bass boosted sirens. Ah, shit.
No, fuck. Yeah, nah, man, this nigga is so cool. I like it.
Really, it's a nice I guess return to form would be because the last arc very taxing, very trying, and the whole ending was a very like desperate struggle. So have this arc, the action in it start, where we're reminded like, nah, they're still with it.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget now, those guys were tough. These fucking I can't
Hishaku.
remember that. Yeah, the Hishaku. It's like obviously some of them are strong, but like it's not like all of them.
Yeah, man. Like even when he was describing, he's like, damn, my guards got cooked. If only we had people here on the level of like Hiyuki and Azumi. I was like, you haven't met Mr. Put That Shit On. Yeah, we fucking in this bitch. Yeah, man. That shit's awesome. I like how immediately it's just like, oh yeah, Chihiro is like the perfect guy to come over here. Like he's already a step above the rest of these guys, which is why they trusted, well, not trusted him, but they were just like, all right, fucking, you can join the Kamunabi. Our forces are kind of fucked right now. Please go help them. Because they were gassing them boys up last week, bro. They were just like, yo, we don't really need that. We got all these people surrounded. It's all good. Oh, fuck, they're dead already. Like, shit.
I think I said that last week where Yuki's like, oh yeah, that's why our forces are spread so thin, because so many people are guarding them. It's like, they lost. Like, great.
Yeah. They just
Super
fucking
cool,
suck, bro.
Kamunabi.
They just fucking suck.
Very effective allocation of resources.
Can we talk about how the name of this arc is Assassination of the Blade Bears arc? That shit's fire. Yeah. That shit's
I wanted to bring
fire.
that up too, because that implies like this whole arc is going to be about all of the different swordsmen on the cover. So
God, I'm so
we're
fucking
going to meet them.
excited. I'm so fucking hyped.
It's really cool. So far I like this guy too. I think it's setting up a really interesting story here. It's about like the legacy of Rokuhiro and like the types of people. Because this guy, for example, only ever saw the serious part of him, the part that was like entirely about the sword and like its weight and meaning and all that
Where
stuff.
he doubted that he could ever have a child.
Yeah, he like did not think that dude can't be a dad. Whereas like now he's actually going to be meeting his kid, and it's like immediately he already sees his father in him.
Yeah,
and like wants to fight. It's a reignition of purpose, which I've seen some people talk about in the chat a little bit. But it's like that's going to be interesting because he's obviously going to see the parts of him that are not like his father, or the parts of him that are like his father that he never saw. It's gonna. I'm wondering how much it's gonna break the illusion for him, and like how that could go. Because I think it's naive to assume that all of these swordsmen are just potential allies, like across the board. We don't know how this is gonna go. These are all potential combatants, and they could all swing either way depending on their opinion of the war and how things went, or Chihiro himself.
Yeah,
that's an important thing to notice that Uruha, once again, like, Rokuhiro gave him the Kumayori, to fight, to kill with, and that, I think it's interesting because it could kind of call back to Sojo, where I bet Uruha admires Rokuhiro for similar reasons. Obviously not the same, because Sojo is very much like, these blades were made to murder people.
Psychopath,
yeah. But I think Uruha is much more like, these blades are like weapons, but they were made for like the right cause. That's why it's okay that the child forsaker exists.
The fucking civilian slicer 5000.
Which is an interesting perspective because that's essentially Rokuhiro's perspective when he was making them. It's kind of hard to say for sure, but it definitely seems like he regrets at least some of them later on. Like, once again, Yuji, like, when he's definitely like, I went too hard.
I went a bit too crazy on this one, bruv.
Yeah. Child forsaker.
That one died.
It's so like a forsake. It's just strong, like dramatic verb to use on a kid.
Bro, I don't think I can top that in this stream. I think that's just the one. Like I can't. I've been trying to come up with other ones, but I was like, I think that's it.
It's like, what does it do? Teleport them to like the middle of a desert or something?
Right.
This is fucking over.
God, that's a fucking bleach sword. That's a Bankai right there. This sword forsakes all it touches. What?
Domain expansion. Busy shopping mall. You will never find your child.
The PA system's broken. You can't use it.
As long as you're in my domain, you will be stuck yelling, Jason, for 48 hours straight.
That's correct. Just slightly less than you would in heavy rain.
Yes.
I think it's interesting. I think it could be interesting to get that perspective because how Chihiro reacts to that could mean a lot because Sojo offers an alternate interpretation that Chihiro doesn't accept, but he can't completely deny. Either. He just has to cut it down in order to prove that his is more correct. But this is a guy who knew him, who knew Rokuhiro, who knew his father, who knows exactly what happened, and once again probably has similar ideas. And I think that is interesting because if Chihiro ends up disagreeing with him, that could represent him essentially realizing that he disagrees with his dad. And what that does to his journey and his goal of making sure that the weapons his father made don't hurt more people. Obviously, he'd still keep doing that. But, like, at what point does it become trying to, like, preserve his legacy? And then at what point does it become actually trying to essentially erase it? Because he realizes that legacy was maybe not great. But then again, there's a lot of different ways that it could go. Which is what makes it interesting.
Hey, man, at the end of the day, Chihiro is also his legacy, man. So
true, yeah.
We'll also see what
another
happens.
big part is the fact that Rokuhiro, was a person who lived for longer than just to make the swords.
Yeah.
Like that, there's a lot to be said about, in the later years of his life. I don't think he was necessarily. Well, no, he was trying to atone for it because he was trying to, store the swords and make sure they weren't used again. It didn't go that well.
No.
Yeah. And another thing that's really going to give a lot of context is just what the war was, because we don't even know what they were fighting or who
That's
they
true.
were fighting or anything. We don't know. We might get an entire arc explaining that, and we would be like, yeah, the Child Forsaker was pretty necessary, honestly.
They needed that shit. The Bitch Breaker 3000s were much more necessary.
It's hard to say right now. And it really will beg the question is, like, if a weapon, does the necessity of a weapon like that still justify its creation? And the series could really go either way on that. It's hard to say right now. Chihiro is a character that is very firm in his beliefs, but as far as the story goes, it could change. We really don't know. Other interesting things, aside from that, is we get an explanation on how the enchanted blades work with other sorcery.
Yeah.
Because it says that the price you pay is losing that sorcery, which makes sense. I mean, it does provide a bit of a balance. It makes sense why we're, Chihiro is trained so much, but he hasn't, like, become a sorcerer and is whipping out other abilities. It's because he can't. He can't learn other stuff. If he could, he probably would, because it would help his fights. That just makes sense. Yeah. It does beg a few questions. Like, does this same thing apply to Flamebone? Because as far as we know, Flamebone maybe doesn't have eternal contracts, but we also don't see her, like Hiyuki, using other abilities ever. So, like, maybe Hiyuki just didn't have any potential as a sorcerer. That's also possible. Who knows? Maybe I imagine that'll get answered eventually.
Now that does pose a very interesting possibility, which is, for whatever reason, because it could be something where, like, later in the series, Chihiro, like, has to break his contract with Enten for some reason, probably to save somebody.
Okay.
Like, and then he has to learn sorcery.
Well, I think you just have to, like, die in order for the contract to be broken, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but they can do whatever they want.
That's true.
That's fair.
Shit can happen.
Yeah. Things that things that are impossible in a series only exist as long as the author decides they are.
Yeah.
But I'm just coping because, man, if we find out that for whatever bullshit reason Chihiro's also an exception and he can also have sorcery, man.
Well, that's what I wanted to...
This is the thing I was going to get to, actually. Is the way this is worded, it's treating Hakuri as an exception to that rule. He literally says, you're special. Normally only one kind of spirit energy can exist in a person's body. So normal people have limited capacity.
Yes.
The way it's worded makes me think it's saying that Hakuri could wield a blade without losing any of his sorcery. Maybe that's not true. Right. Maybe he would just lose one, and it's like
I think he could use like one of the techniques. Yeah,
but
I was thinking about that.
Worded.
Yeah, because
think that's how it's worded.
Why else
it would just be a limitless capacity?
Why else would the Hishaku users want the swords?
I was going to bring this up because the Hishaku are also special.
They are like the toppiest of top tier sorcerers.
Literally in the first chapter, we see one of them use like that wood sorcery and disappear in fire.
Yeah.
So like immediately the first sorcery we use is someone using two types of sorcery, and at the time we didn't know that was a big deal. And that was just like a guy. That wasn't like the leader or anything, who is probably even crazier. So I think this is building up to, at least the main guy being able to wield one of those swords without any price.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that is a big possibility for like how this is going.
I think that's a big possibility as well, simply because of how the power system has like expanded. Like, oh well, you have the blades, but then you also have powers that are on par with the blades with sorcery. So I think like a natural evolution of just like, well, how do you make this dude the most dangerous motherfucker ever? You just give him 2 powers that are on par with like the strongest in the series.
Mm-hmm.
So like having the strongest sorcery and the strongest blade, yeah, this nigga's gonna be a problem. Were you saying something?
Cool, it's one of those things that, you know, we can't see how it is until it happens. Like right now, it could just totally be the thing where it's like, yeah, if Hakuti, for example, made an eternal contract, he would lose 1 of his sorcery. Right now, based on just how it's worded, I don't think that's the case, just because of the wording of it's limited in capacity, like a normal person has that, implying that like someone like Hakuti doesn't have that limit. But it's there's translation, word choice, an author's decisions. All of these things can be faulty or change. Like, it's just how it goes. Right now, based on what we have, I would say that there would be no price to someone like Hakuti, and that could present a really interesting threat for the Hishaku to pose, because they are clearly going after these swords. They are skilled enough in sorcery to like unseal the Shinichi, so maybe they even have a way to break eternal contracts, like aside from killing. And even if they don't, they can just kill them.
Them.
So like, I'm thinking there's some pretty. I'm thinking it's setting up for at least one of the, at least the main Hishaku guy to have a sword, if not the Shinichi itself,
Johnny Hisaku.
John Hishaku. I have been trying to avoid that, but it's so funny.
I forgot we call him that. John Hishaku.
Manu is saying that, hey, but Shiba made it clear that there's movement and defense barrier sorcery techniques. The unique ones are advanced sorcery, and that's totally fine. I would still call what the Hishaku are doing as advanced sorcery, because it's not just like teleportation, it's like some fiery thing, and that really implies that there's something more to it. Shiba's is also shown to be something extra, but we don't really know what the deal is, because he also has this moment where he's like torturing the one sorcerer like early in the series, and he just like crushes his foot somehow. It's really it's a weird moment. I
was gonna ask, how did the guy from like chapter 1 teleport? Because like when they were in like that bank or whatever the fuck, I remember he like left. I'm trying to look at it right now, but he left in a way that it was like weird.
And if teleportation is itself some kind of like,
oh yeah, it was the fire thing you were talking about,
sorcery, everyone would be doing it. Do you know how useful teleportation is?
Yeah, it's the only thing that Shiba does, and no one has ever put a scratch on him.
Bro, that shit is raw. Yeah, he just like burns like paper. Like this guy here in chapter 1, he's like burning paper. He just burns up in flames. That's crazy.
So like that is something that I don't know. I think that, that's another thing where maybe, we're reading too much into it, but the way it's presented is not as something. Yeah, they can enhance their bodies and strength. I'm aware of that. That's not my point here. That's a bit besides my point, guys.
True and true. But yeah.
I'm saying there's a lot of stuff that could change in the future, but with the information we have right now, certain characters are being presented as pretty insane.
Like, you mean that when Shiba crushes the dude's foot, he's not just like stepping on it?
That's possible, but the way it's drawn doesn't look like that. I don't know. I'd have to go back to that chapter, but I remember seeing it and thinking, man, that looks a little weird. Like it almost looked like a gravity power. I'm not gonna say like put that down as my hard theory that like Shiba has gravity powers. My point is it looked like a technique. Could just be super strength, though. We haven't seen Shiba fight enough for me to like have a strong opinion on his capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Shiba is definitely like what he's doing is some kind of advanced sorcery, though. At 100%, that is just true.
Because Shiba is just like important.
Yeah, right.
Like obviously as a character and everything, but as a person. He mentions like, oh, I can't show up to the Kaminabi meeting. Like, and he was friends with Rokuhiro. Obviously, he was like and he's just good. Like,
Yeah.
he's incredibly skilled at intelligence gathering, at fighting, at strategizing. Like, it's very clear that like he's most likely a very important player in the war. I don't remember if there was like a part in the early chapters where it's mentioned like, oh, he's so and so and such from the war. I don't think so.
Nah, there wasn't anything like that.
Yeah. I'm so glad that I have my walking encyclopedias around. Yeah, they're so helpful when I forget shit.
Yeah. We'll probably get some history on him when they do eventually like run into Shiba, and they're just like, oh, this dude was the fucking, I don't know, he was teleporting shit around in the war. He was.
Oh my god, he won Evo 2012.
Oh my god, he did the Shiba parry.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the Shiba parry.
Oh my god. I think I do want to make it clear while we're still on the topic. Like, all I'm doing right now is theorizing, because like, it could be that the Hishaku are doing other stuff to augment their abilities. They're not actually that special. It is genuinely kind of weird that we're seeing a lot of the same techniques from them. Like, the wood and fire stuff is pretty consistent. I don't know if that means they're getting their powers through some other means, or maybe they're all just related. Maybe it's a family thing. That could be interesting. We don't know. What we have been presented so far is that people who can do multiple things are special, and the Hishaku have been presented as being able to do multiple advanced things. With that information, just the most likely explanation is that they are like Hakuri. And they are like presented as endgame villains. It's not out of the realm of possibility that they are very special. That's genuinely, like, usually the case. We'll see how it goes. 100% I could be wrong.
True.
But, yeah.
True.
You know what, chat? I'm on your side now. Zenith doesn't know what he's talking about.
What the fuck? What the hell?
Deception. But yeah, no, it's we'll see.
When were you under the impression that I read this series?
But yeah, I mean, it could be anything. Either way, the Hishaku are like really a big threat. Like, regardless of if they're like Hakuri or not. Like, and they do have plans with the blades. I'm just saying, with the information we have, especially presented in this chapter, it could be a big deal that they're gonna like be able to wield a blade and still have their sorcery intact. You know.
Yeah.
That's the big point I'm trying to get across. Things could change as we get more info, though. Another thing worth bringing up, not the chapter, but the fucking contest.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So funny.
So great.
That is the coolest. So to anyone who didn't see, there is a contest being held to design a sorcerer that will appear in the series, dying to Chihiro in the opening of a chapter.
That's so fucking raw.
They're not hiding that at all. Like,
They're so fucking raw.
Open, like, yeah, nah.
And the entirety of the Kagurabachi community has determined that this is the highest possible honor to receive.
Yeah,
I
man.
legitimately think
Because
that
it is.
it's the best thing that could happen to you in your life.
You get to get killed by a goat.
Honor, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to whatever wins. Like, that is just the coolest thing that I've ever seen a mangaka do.
Yeah. I hope he does it more often, man. That shit's funny.
The create a jobber contest?
Yeah. That's cool, man. Hey, man, I like the idea of just like, yeah, create somebody who Chihiro can like kill. It goes back to as well, just like, wow, a shonen battle manga, a shonen battle mangaka who actually likes his main character. Holy fuck, that's cool. Like,
bro, a mangaka who likes his audience.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Obviously, I'm not making any bold claims about mangaka in general, but I do think it's very telling that it's Kagurabachi that is doing this, because Kagurabachi is popular because of the internet. That is undeniable. Yes. It's popular because it's good. But it only got its start because of like the memes.
Yeah, it took the momentum and ran with it.
In the West, because
in
Japan they're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
And it's very like, I think it's very intentional on like the part of Viz, because granted they aren't always on the ball with this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's very, like, I think it's intentional that they recognize that this is a very popular series that people like, for a lot of reasons, but, like, because it's good.
Yeah, right? This is gas and Kagurabachi.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity to... It's just a cool thing. And it's a cool thing that... It's not like no other series could do it. Because fucking... Akutami could have said, like, oh, submit a design for, like, a Heian era sorcerer reincarnation. But
don't take me back.
At the same time, it's because Kagurabachi is the way that it is. It's so popular. It got that popularity a very particular way. So the people who like it don't just like it, don't just enjoy it, but they're excited about it.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, and we're part of it, because every chapter we start, we're like, oh, this was the best chapter ever. Like, obviously we don't mean that, but we feel it.
Yeah, right? It should mean something to me.
Yeah.
I think it also just goes to show us, and I think we've seen this a lot. For example, earlier, Sky, you mentioned the author of Oshinoko. And that is the person who I would consider the real first popular modern mangaka, someone who is truly embracing the modern age in which they are writing.
Yeah,
and this is
using it.
They do that within their story. This is an example of using it in a very meta way, whereas like really embracing the fact that they are a young person who is on the internet and can utilize that for their story.
And
because the mangaka for Kagurabachi, he's really young. I think he showed, I don't know if this was like faked or not, but I think there was this picture that was going around of like his workstation, and he just had Discord on his computer.
That's awesome.
I have no idea if that was fake or not, but I saw him like, that's so funny if it's true.
It's real to me. It's a real to me type shit.
Shit.
And it's like, that's just so...
Yeah, it's really...
It's just so cool.
We're living in the future.
Yeah,
straight up.
It's a super... Yeah, it's just neat. It's just neat.
Yeah, he's 23,
I'm looking forward to who wins. Oh god, he's 23, bro. What the hell? Mangaka are supposed to be like 80.
Yeah.
Birthday. Shout out birthday. Yeah, man.
Just, I love this chapter.
I like this chapter a lot. Yeah, I was just about to say
this arc is such a strong start.
Yeah.
And I guess now this is officially the start of a new arc.
Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah! I jumped the gun a little bit last week, saying this was the start, but now this is the start. So cool.
We are here, man.
Off. That's fine. I forgive you.
Well, I didn't know that the author would just tell us.
I forgive you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Normally, they don't just tell us, when we're starting a new arc. Like, Oda with the whole act stuff in Wano, that was not the rule. That was an exception.
Yeah.
But, I guess that's another thing where it's like, yeah, just the acknowledgement of arc structure is kind of a modern thing too, I guess, because like they all do it, but they don't like say it, It's
nice because I'm sick of fucking having to fight over like, oh, it actually starts on this chapter. No, you idiot.
Right.
You have that shit in Dragon Ball where it's like, oh yeah, this is Saiyan, Namek, or slash Frieza, but then people are like, no, this is the Ginyu Saga. It's like, shut up!
Oh my god.
the Ginyu Saga. Oh, the Ginyu Saga.
Oh, they deserve a saga. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Well, why be so specific about it, bro? This is the Goldo Saga. Yo, were you guys there when the fucking Raccoon saga started? I was shitting
Bro,
bricks.
I
I also
was
realized that's why I said pissing bricks earlier. I got my phrases mixed up.
I was bricked up during the Dodoria saga, man. That shit went crazy.
I'll kill you.
What the hell? What the hell? I was adding to your joke.
The Dodoria saga.
Bro!
What the hell is your problem?
I only remember his name because of how they said it in the show, how Frieza said it. Dodoria. I only remember that.
I
Yeah.
ain't mad about that. It's just the audacity to be like the Dodoria saga.
Bro! He was pink, had the spiky ass head.
He was pink. Yeah, those sure are the
I
only
mean,
traits.
look, if you said you were bricked up during the Zarbon on Saga, then we would have had questions.
No, that's
Oh, this
Bulma,
guy,
bro.
He's a monster fucker.
That's
Bro got
Bulma.
bricked up by Zarbon.
I was going crazy, bro. I was fucking Dodoria, fucking Vegeta, beating his ass, and then he killed him. I was like, damn, goated.
Bro,
Goated saga.
you guys remember the Kui saga?
Oh my god, I forgot all about Kui, bro. Holy shit.
Where is he in Sparking Zero? I've got no confirmation.
I think he is in the
Where's
game.
my boy? Let's go.
I think he just is in the game. Yeah, you can have fucking Vegeta blow him up again.
Let's go.
That shit is good. That shit is good.
Everyone's here. Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or you fucking don't. But anyway, I've exhausted all of my dialogue options today, chat.
I haven't, but I'll abide.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, bro.
No,
like,
Completely
I will say another week of Undead Unluck being peak. Let's go.
We are
Unlocked
not
more
touching
really
unmoved
fucking
unselling,
good.
brother. We don't
All right,
care.
you picked that up from a bum on Twitter. Like,
Yes, I goddamn did.
Get
That
off
shit- I gotta catch up, but that shit is
You-
funny, bro.
You
That shit
do
is so
need to
funny.
catch up. Genuinely, like this shit's so good, man. Like it's
Oh,
so good.
This shit's unselling 1 million volume.
Bro,
That's right,
unmoved
the volume
unselling
back.
is so crazy, bro. Holy fuck. But yeah, let me write this shit down, man. Make sure you guys like up the stream, whether you're here live or after the fact. If you made it through
Whether
this
you like
entire
it or not.
podcast, yeah, whether you like it or not, too, like the stream.
Like, if you were a fan of JJK and you sat through all this, I salute
Props to
you.
you, honestly. Yeah, man, we
We
salute
were
you.
talking shit.
If you weren't a fan of JJK and you sat through all this, I salute you, because damn, you must have been confused as hell.
Well, you don't have to read it to be a fan of it.
Type shit. Yeah, we can get that shit on Twitter, man. We can get that shit on Twitter, man. It's cool. It's cool type shit. Where's my Don? I don't know. Maybe you'll see. Maybe you'll see.
Yeah,
Give it a few
if
weeks.
If people like on the podcast like read it, it could be added.
Give it a
I'm not
it
against
could.
that.
But
ultimately, it is up to the main man here. So
Yeah, give it a few
Silver.
weeks.
What's
Specifically,
your decision, Silver?
once once a certain series finishes, it has a couple chapters left. I don't know. You might see it on here. Maybe.
Oh my god, I can't
I don't
believe
know.
the Black Button ending.
I don't know. Maybe we may have talked about it. Maybe it'll be here.
may have been some discussion.
May have been some discussion. May have been some ideas type shit.
They're lying. We have no plan. This is all bullshit.
But anyway, let us know what your favorite chapter was. It doesn't have to be anything that we covered here on the podcast. It could be Blue Lock, Blue Box, Kill Blue, Grand Blue, Hematen.
Hematen.
Yeah, yes sir. But yeah, make sure you guys go first like up the stream, but then on top of that, the pinned comment for this stream is gonna be the video tomorrow, the big AOT video that I've spent like a year and a half working on. That shit is gonna be 5 hours long. So lock the fuck in. I got your lunch and your dinner covered for days, bro. Lock the fuck in, man. We are gonna be there. It's gonna be great. I hope you guys enjoy it. I've been trying to get this video out for so long. I'm really proud of it. I hope you guys will be too. It'll be great. And then I'm going to work on a JJK video. And then, more content is going to be made, man. More content is going to be made. We are so fucking back. But right now, we are so fucking gone. Goodbye.
Goodbye, fellas.
And good night.